Hello, everyone. Can you hear me? Okay, I think you can. Mm.
Hey. Okay, let's do. All right, so this is going to be a team effort because I am terrible at moving the slides with Ignite. I always forget.
Well, I'm not technological at all, so that'll
Yeah.
be too good.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, sorry, we're like 5 slides behind. I just started talking.
Which always are the best classes
Yeah,
that I've found.
yeah, I don't, I'm not much of a, I guess, outline teacher.
Yeah.
I'm more of a workshop girl, like, hey, let's just sit and like do it.
Yep, me too. And a lot of this is like that common sense.
Yes, yes,
You know, I mean, talk to your clients, talk to your network,
right,
how to have a good relationship. Which, and if you've been alive, you should know.
you should know, yeah, you should kind of figure this out pretty quick. Yeah, and today is about like offers and stuff, so at least this is, I mean, but I feel like, how long have you been here now? You've been here over a month now, right?
Yeah, end of May.
Yeah, so you've
Kendall.
taken a lot of probably classes about offers and contracts yet?
No, I haven't had a chance because either they would get canceled.
Okay.
Because Susan was,
Oh,
I think
because she
Susan
does
was
offers
ill.
and contracts.
And so they were canceled, and then a couple times, I think they happened, we were moving stuff into UC.
Right, so you were missing stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
I've been to every Ignite class except for 4 yesterday. I missed, so that was
Okay, yeah, and the Ignite classes are usually good, but I mean, William, have we got a class together before? Have you ever sat in on anything on teaching? I just told her, I'm like, okay, so let's go over the basics first. Like, I am terrible at the
You can
slides.
click through every single slide.
Yeah,
in the
like
first
I'm
5
like,
minutes.
oh, I forgot, I need to click through the slides.
Do-do-do.
Mary, are you coming in here
No.
today? Are you taking Ignite today? Okay. I feel like you should have you taken Ignite before? Or is this kind of like, okay, at night? Yeah. Oh, yeah, the foundation series, right, right. It's, I think Ignite, don't you think? It's the same thing now. They just changed the name. Yeah.
Yeah.
They just changed the name. So I'm terrible at slides, so if I forget to move them, like just say, I think we're supposed to be on the next slide. I also am not much of a, it's more gonna be of like a talking workshop type, class, because I'm not real good at following order. So if we're completely off base, we'll just figure it out. We'll just kind of follow the notes and go over. Okay, so today, knowing how to communicate with buyers, sellers, other agents during the offer process, understanding best practices for receiving offers in your market. So what we're going to learn today is we're going to consider questions that we might have about that process. Don't worry, I don't make anybody do the like one-on-one, like let's talk, let's have a like the, not for this section. It's kind of silly. A lot of this stuff, Mary, you'll know a lot of this stuff already. William, have you written a contract yet? Have you written offers? Okay, so a lot of this stuff you're gonna know as well. Have you written contracts yet?
I have, because we have owned investment property for 25 years. So
Okay, so you know kind of
I know a lot
contracts
of
then.
it. Yeah.
Okay.
And I sold one of our properties for sale by owner last fall.
Okay,
And
so
I-
you kind of you've seen a contract then.
Yeah, I've seen quite a few.
Yeah, okay. So, who wants to read the quote today? That's right. It's all about win-win when you're writing and receiving offers. You want both sides to be happy moving forward and ready to go. What's up, friend? How you doing?
Hey,
I haven't
Brandon.
met you yet. What's your name?
Brandon.
Brandon, I'm Kate. Nice to meet you, Brandon. Yeah. So I said, just FYI, I'm not good with the slides, so just like yell at me if I forget to move the slides. We're doing making and receiving offers today. So really, today's more about like the same stuff we already know, you guys, talking to people, right? Communicating, building, forming relationships. Okay. So the first thing we're going to go over is the actual offer process. I think I didn't look over the facilitator either. I looked over something different. Yeah, so we're just going to speak from the heart, you know? Okay, so obviously there's an order that you follow when you're making an offer, right? You're going to write the offer. And then there's 3 different things that are going to happen. The seller's either going to counter the offer, they're going to accept the offer, or they're going to reject it, right? This is a crazy exciting time for both buyers and sellers. So emotions are high, right? What do you think some of the emotions that buyers and sellers have at this like stage of the process? Like things are just getting started. What do you think they're feeling, William?
Depends on their situation, but the buyer is usually happy at this point.
Right?
So it would be
Right. Okay.
like a letter to us.
Right. Do you think that buyers might have, everybody might be a little apprehensive too, because they don't necessarily know a lot about the process? Okay. So that's kind of a big part of our job, is because this business is like crazy high emotions, right? Crazy high emotions, and you're not just dealing with emotions, you're also dealing with people's finances. And this isn't like $10, it's like hundreds of thousands of dollars. Like it's people's life savings, right? So emotions are at a level like 15. So the good news about our job is that we are supposed to be the calming agent, right? We're supposed to bring them down off the ledge. So learning how to talk people down off the ledge and kind of just like make the process as smooth as possible, that's really what it's all about. Let's see. What are the rules for how? Okay, so a lot of this I think comes from classes that you've taken prior to Ignite, right? Because the buying, writing offers and accepting offers, a lot of this stuff is brought up during the initial consultation, right? That you have with your clients. Like a lot of this process, they shouldn't feel as apprehensive if you prepared them for what's to come, right? I always walk people through exactly what an offer is going to look like before we even get to that point. Like, this is what's going to happen. We're going to go see the house. We're going to decide how much we want to spend on the house when we're there. Every situation is going to be different. Like this market is much different than the market was even 2 months ago, let alone like 2 years ago. So the way you write an offer now versus how you wrote it 2 years ago, completely different. Okay, I'm gonna try to keep up. I mean, who has an aha already? I mean, that's ridiculous. Prepare the offer. Okay, so this is what we're really gonna get into the meat of here. Okay, so prepare to write an offer. So there's multiple steps you're gonna take. So obviously the first most important thing is to reach out to the other agent. This is a step that you want to actually call the agent. I never text the agent initially. I always try to call them. They may be one of those agents that never answers the phone because there's lots of those out there. So, but you always want to try to call first, just to ask these questions over the phone as opposed to doing it by text message. But sometimes they don't answer the phone and you're going to have to do it by text. But obviously the first question, is the property still available? That's the most important thing. I always say, hey, I've got a client, they're ready to write an offer on the house. I mean, at that point, they're going to tell you if it's still available or if it's pending. Build rapport, that's an obvious lesson there. Inquire about activity. So, hey, I've got a client, they are interested in writing an offer on your home. Have you had any activity right? They're gonna tell you if they've had any other interested parties. The other big thing you wanna know there is, do you have any offers in hand? Because if you don't ask if they have them in hand, they're not gonna tell you. They will basically lie and say, oh yeah, we've got tons of activity on this house, so upset. But you need to ask them like the concrete question, do you have actual offers in hand? Because that's gonna give you an idea of what kind of sense of urgency you need to have moving forward and how aggressive your offer should actually be. Inquire about other offers, yeah, property status, why did it fall through? Okay, so this is an interesting question because this is something that would come up if you were writing an offer on a home that might have went pending and now it's back on the market. So those are the type, you want to know why that happened. Was it due to financing? Was it due to inspections? If it was due to inspections, what went wrong? Because if it was due to inspections at this point, it needs to be disclosed because it is back on the market. So the agent knows that there's something physically wrong with the home and this is what it was. So they should be telling you that. Question?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just saw a property I sent to a friend and it came back on the market and in somewhere in the listing notes, it said it's back on the market because the inspector
Okay.
was bad. Something to that in that verbiage.
Right.
And the buyers got scared by his bad inspection.
Okay. All right.
And I was like, that's an interesting thing to put out to the,
Yeah, I don't know if I
Public?
would put that on the MLS and the agent
I mean,
notes.
yeah.
I think that's probably one
I
of
mean, I
those.
think it was in the
That's a bit of a
public
red
notes.
flag.
It was on the list, like
Yeah, terrible.
anyone could have seen it.
Yeah, terrible.
Wasn't like hidden. I mean, I just happened to send her as an example of a house,
Right.
but I was like, oh,
You're like, that's not
That's-
exactly
that's
what we want to
weird.
see there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What would that be?
Well, that's a terrible idea. So don't ever do that as an agent. Right, right. Right. Well, and
no,
here's
but
the
the
thing,
house
like
is-
that is something that happens. Like you will get a bad inspector
Yeah.
that the way that they phrase things
Right.
completely
Just
freaks
doom.
people out,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And then you're like, come on, man, like, did you really need it? That's why it's imperative that when you have inspections, you need to be there with your client. So that you can be like, is this like the end of the world, sir? Because you're making it sound like it's the end of the world. Like, is this the end of the world? Is the house completely falling apart? Or could we probably move forward on this and fix it at some point, right? But putting it on the MLS, definitely not. That's a phone call conversation. This is perfect where you should be conversing and talking about what that with the agents, and so that the agent could be like, yes, this is what happened. They're first time buyers. They completely got freaked out by what the inspector said, but this is what the inspector said. This is what the inspector said the issues were. Any good agent should know what kind of things you can work through on an inspection, right? Obviously, structural safety issues, I mean, those are kind of red flags, but are those big red flags that we can still work through? Because a lot of the times you can't. So your goal as the agent is to get it to the finish line every time. You need to be able to work through the problems and figure out a solution and not be like, you don't want to ever just give up, right? You really want to like push through almost always. Oh my God, on the MLS, terrible.
Well, I will say, we rehabbed the property and sold it. And then the inspector was doom and gloom.
Sure.
Terrible inspector. And one of the posts in the basement was like a heavy duty metal. It wasn't the temporary post. It was
Okay.
he just replaced it. But he freaked out the buyers. Now I was just the homeowner. But for some reason, the inspector wrote the buyer's phone number at the top of the inspection report
Oh, yeah.
and then sent it to us.
Right. You're like, well, that was
And
done
it-
too.
Yeah, that was very dumb because, and I was working with an agent and bad Kendall, but I called them. I texted the buyers.
Yeah, and you said, this is what's going on.
And I said, hey, this is Kendall sold. I'm the owner of the house.
Right.
What are your questions? And I talked him off the ledge. My agent was like, oh my God, did you just call the buyers?
Yeah, but hey, if the
But
agent
it's-
doesn't know and you did that.
He didn't know that I did it. He got a call from their agent. And I was like, yeah, because the
Yeah.
inspector, it was bad, but I can do whatever I want as a homeowner.
And as the agent, my hesitant thing to So I
Yeah,
had nothing to do with
exactly.
that.
And I knew that, so I to do it, but I saved the deal. They bought the house and they were super happy.
That's good.
Because I was like, that is a structural post.
Yeah.
To code, we had it inspected. I'm not really sure what your home inspector, but the city inspected it. The house is not gonna fall down.
That's why you have to take note on all these inspectors. Anytime you hear these stories, make a list. Make a list of all
Yeah.
those inspectors that you don't want to use. It is very important to have an inspector that you're like, okay, I trust them. Or an inspector that you have a relationship with that you can call and be like, bro,
Right.
can we, like, you're gonna need to call the buyer to go over this section of the inspection because this sounds like the
House is
whole
gonna fall
house.
down.
Yeah, this sounds like the house is trashed, and if that's not the case.
Don't do what I did.
Yeah,
And I can't do it
Don't let the
anymore.
homeowner call.
No, it was so bad.
Ask, if you don't know, that's okay, that's right.
Yes.
Ask questions about the seller's motivation and needs, okay? So there's lots to go over here. So because you want to get the house and you want it to be a win-win situation, so you want to make them happy and your client happy, right? So what's your motivation? Is it all financial? Is it all money talk? Are you in a situation where, you want to sell the house, but you're trying to buy another house? So it's kind of like contingent on you finding a house, so you probably need a little bit more time for closing. Do you want to close really fast? You just want to get it over with. It might be in a trust. Like if a house is, inherited from a trust, people want to just unload it. They don't want to hold on to this. So this is a great place to just figure out their motivation. And a lot of agents will tell you exactly what they want. Again, in a competitive market and multiple offer situation, the agent will be straight up and be like, is the least amount of contingencies as possible. AKA, I don't want you to ask for an inspection, which they can't say ethically, but they'll say the least amount of contingencies as possible. Asking the listing agent how they want to receive the offer. Do you want it sent to you through Dotloop? What do you use, Dotloop or DocuSign? Do you prefer I send you the offer through there? Do you prefer I send you the offer through your email? Do you have a personal email, work email? That's pretty self-explanatory. Is everybody connected and using DocuSign and Command and all that jazz? Yeah, you guys are okay.
I mean, that's how they would, like, we would upload it into DocuSign. And then
Correct.
email them.
You can email it from DocuSign, or you can download. A lot of the time I download the PDF and then I send it over as one full thing.
Okay.
And even if you're using DocuSign or Dotloop, you always want to download everything and attach the PDFs so that when they do get it in an email, they can at least click through all those individual PDFs to check signatures, that kind of thing. Okay.
I do it
Obtain-
that way because they might connect to the seller.
Right,
They might need to print it out.
right. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, you never know. And you don't know how their client likes it, right? So you want them to be able to have options because then that makes them happy.
Print it out, do what they want. I like doing that, but I always have it.
Yes, me too. And that's one thing that actually shows other agents how experienced you are. If you don't attach the PDFs, there are some agents that will be annoyed by that and they'll call you out the minute they see that. They'll be like, can you attach the PDFs the next time? I think I had multiple agents tell me that at the beginning. And I was like, okay, so I guess that's something I need to be doing every time. Cool. Obtain the buyer's pre-approval from the lender. Okay, listen, this is obvious, right? Don't write an offer without a pre-approval. I mean, there are cases where you can do this, but I don't recommend it. It looks unprofessional. It's funny because honestly, one of the only times it's really acceptable is if you're looking at like high-end real estate, like $1 million real estate, because a lot of those people aren't out looking at those homes or making offers without the financial backing, and they're a different type of client. So if they say they are pre-approved and look at the pre-approval, you gotta kind of just like, a lot of those offers that you make, it's, hey, I'll have my pre-approval over to you within the next 24 hours or something. So some of those people, they're just a different type of client.
Yeah.
They aren't getting serious until they're serious, and then they'll get you everything you need right at once.
Their
Right?
guy will get you.
Yeah,
My
right.
guy will send over
Yeah, like we'll take care of that when we get there. Or like funds. Okay, so some people that are paying with cash, right? While we're on the subject, if it's a cash offer, a lot of people offering a cash offer, they're not gonna show you proof of funds until you're under contract. So that even as a buyer's agent is something that you know, if you're working with someone who's going in with cash, when you write the offer, you write the offer as we're going in cash, but just let them know right off the bat, hey, we'll give up the proof of funds once we're under contract. Never give up the proof of funds until you're under contract with a cash offer. Review the MLS and the tax records. Okay, again, this is probably, a very important step. Review all the MLS. I mean, every line, every detail in that listing, you want to look over it because I'll tell you what, in the beginning, I remember writing an offer on a property that I didn't realize didn't have central air until we were under contract. Like 24 hours, I was like, oh my God, they don't have central air. So we canceled, we backed out right away. But that could have went a different direction. Like somebody could have been not so friendly about that. But I was like, yeah, you don't have central air. But I think the reason I got out of that situation was the whole thing was a little shady, first of all. I had reached out to that agent prior to even showing the property, and I had said, hey, looking for the age of mechanics on the home, looking for HVAC, water heater, windows, roof. And she had written back, she didn't know the years and the dates on certain things, and one of them was the HVAC. So I felt like she knew that it didn't have air, okay. And that was a perfect opportunity for her to have told me that, like prior to me even writing the offer, but she didn't tell me that. And then when I wrote the offer, I had to back out because I'm like, there's some central air. Yeah. That's a problem. We definitely need central air.
How often do you find that people list houses on the MLS and the square footage or the lot size or the bedroom, like all that stuff is wrong?
Is wrong? Not very often.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, not very often. Well, I think now we have Kubicasa, which is through the MLS. So again, you as the listing agent should be rechecking that square footage when you go through the house. The area you always help is right in the taxes. So if you go to the auditor's website, like it gives you the exact footage. So it's usually easy to find, and if it is incorrect, that's a bad list agent typically.
Yeah.
But those are always like I go to the tax site, I go and look at the taxes. I mean, you always want to check the auditor site on anything like you're listing or buying to make sure that it's all correct on the MLS. You want to double check all that information. Or the people who try to use square footage for like the lower level that's not a walkout or doesn't have an egress, they throw that in there. It's kind of like trickery. It's not cool. Yeah, you shouldn't do that. Produce comparative market analysis. Again, highly important, right? What is your buyer spending money? You want to make sure that they're spending the appropriate amount of money and compared to what other homes around it are, right? So you want to make sure that you're taking back to your buyer like, hey, okay, this is where I feel like we should go in with the offer. This is what the comps in the neighborhoods look like. The comps, this house is priced to sell, so it's under what it's actually probably should be valued at. This house is overpriced compared to the comps that you're looking at. So these are all conversations that you need to have with them before you even make the offer. Obtain a seller's disclosure statement and other needed documents. Okay, so this is all, your property disclosures, lead-based paint disclosure, all of that should be the agency disclosure. All of those things should already be listed under the MLS documents when you're there. So when you're at the MLS and you're double checking your auditor site and the MLS info, you should also be picking up those documents so you can download them, upload them into DocuSign and send them over to have your buyer sign off on all that stuff when you send in your offer. Agency disclosure. I don't know why people always forget the agency disclosure. That is a typical list item that they do not get. Okay, let me read this if we forgot anything. Relationship with the listing agent. It is such a big deal, and man, you will start to see it. It is made up with a lot of the same listing agents. Like you will start to see like a pattern of the agents. They're like tend to be like I'd say 50 and you just know their names. I swear they have all the houses. It's crazy. So you'll start to like develop relationships with people because you're working with them over and over. Like never delete any text messages because it's amazing how many times you end up talking to the exact same agent. Like you'll go to message them, you'll be like, oh yeah, I've messaged them like 5 other times about 5 other different houses. Oh, obviously, we want to avoid questions that would violate fair housing, obviously. Don't give away information that would violate fair housing. Yeah, you don't want to ask anything about stuff. It's none of our business. That's not our,
And flood.
you would? Good job, William.
Aha.
Uh-huh. This part's so funny. I mean, is anybody surprised by anything we just went through? How to write an offer? Is anybody surprised? We already know these steps, right? We already know these steps. You guys are already on top of it, so. Okay, so let's go through the checklist of actually writing an offer. And then we can go through like a contract if we want. We just briefly go over it if it helps everybody. Okay, so multiple things that we got to go over with our buyer before we write the offer, right? So this is always, again, this is something you're going to go over in your buyer consult. I always pull out an actual contract during the buyer's consult and I go through it step by step. And I stop at the really important sections. I mean, let's keep it real. It's like a lot of pages. There's really about 7 or 8 sections that are like key to that contract. A lot of the other stuff is just like legal mumbo jumbo. I mean, it's good there, it's on there, but you know, a lot of that stuff you don't really need to go with them. Price and terms. Again, we're going to look at our comps that we pulled for our buyer. This is what we're looking at as far as comparables. So we're going to decide what kind of price we want. The terms, are we going to give them a 20-day close because our lender said they can close it right away and these people want a fast close? Are we going to go with our typical, 30-day closing? Are we going to maybe offer them post occupancy because they need an additional week to clear their house out? Are we going to ask for inspections? I think I'm probably getting ahead of myself. Maybe.
What are you seeing now in the market as far as timelines? Because I know it had been fast,
Right.
very fast closed.
Right.
Now are you seeing like 30 to 40? Because in my day it was 45.
Right. Yeah,
60.
45 to 60. That was all
Yes.
typical, right? So
Very
now it's kind of weird because nobody moves for fun anymore. Like everybody's moving out of necessity. Like you either have, again, people are dying, people are getting divorced, people are having babies, or people are like moving out of the state. I would say the past 5 transactions I've had, it was one of those 4, which is what. So nobody's just like moving for fun anymore. Because why? Why would they move out of 3% rate?
Right.
I mean, you would honestly be the native of it.
Yeah.
Let's keep it real.
Yeah.
So a lot of it is necessity. So it's one of 2 things. It's either 1, we need to close right away. We want to close as fast as possible. Or 2, it's contingent because we need to actually find a home, or we have found a home and we're on a timeline with them. So we got to wait it out so that we can get into that house. So it's seriously,
Yeah.
like it's none of it's typical and they've all been completely different. So I would say a little bit, really long and really short. Yeah, really long and really short. Okay. Sellers disclosures. So obviously I sit down, I go over the full property disclosure that they put on the MLS. Is there anything that they've had wrong with the house? Are there water pressure issues? Is it on a septic tank? Is it public water? Have they had issues with leaks with the roof? I mean, anything you see on that property disclosure that says yes, it gives a description, you need to talk about. Because they're admitting something went wrong there and this is what's up. So know that you're getting yourself into this with that house. And a lot of the time it's basic stuff. Like someone will say the water pressure isn't that great. Well, the water pressure not being that great could be a sign of some serious issues.
Mm-hmm.
So that's when you say, okay, so the water pressure, it's not that great. When we go in and do inspections, you definitely need to have a sewer scope. And almost everybody's doing sewer scopes nowadays, but you have some people that are on a budget and they don't have $800 to do inspections on a house. So there are certain things they want to skip. But if you see something like low water pressure or sinks backed up or something like that, you know, those are things you definitely want to.
Big trees in the yard.
Yeah, roots, all that good stuff.
How could we?
I know, it's impossible. Conveyances, so anything that's gonna convey or not convey with the property, right? Are they leaving the washer and dryer? Are they leaving the refrigerator? Are they leaving the curtains? Are they leaving the playset that's in the backyard? A lot of those big items, people automatically think that they're leaving, but they're not always leaving. Like, I have a listing coming up next week, they just bought a brand new refrigerator, they wanna take it with them. That's kind of it. I get it, but that's kind of bad. People want a refrigerator when they move in.
Yeah.
So those people right off the bat, they're gonna buy a refrigerator. So that's kind of like, it sucks. But those are things you want your buyer to know. Hey, they're taking the washer and dryer. So you're gonna have to buy a washer and dryer. Are you okay with that? They're taking the refrigerator. You okay with that? You're gonna have to buy it. Do you want the curtains? You know, or what things did you see at the house that you would like to convey? They have a hot tub. They're planning on taking it. We really want the hot tub. Okay, well then we need to ask for the hot tub.
And you can't get them to buy a cheap refrigerator just to put in there.
I know. Well, but they're like tight, you know, they're selling in this house because they're kind of in a financial. So that's rough, you know, they also have roof damage. So like, you gotta fix the roof damage before you fix the house. You have to, but they're taking out credit card loans so they can fix the roof, but they gotta get out of this house. So
Yeah.
they're in a different situation. It sucks. Six. At closing, right. I'm hoping they can just repair the roof and not replace it.
Yeah, it replaces a whole
Yeah, the
different.
quotes are tomorrow, so my hope is that they can repair it and not replace it.
Yeah.
Because my concern with that is that, again, the insurance companies are so horrible right now.
Yep.
So any buyer that comes in there, they're never going to get insured if there's any type of roof issues. And they have just one section of the roof that's actually like visually, like it's covered with a tarp.
Yeah.
So I'm like, that's bad. That needs to be taken care of before you list.
Isn't there something, I feel like, was it somebody in a meeting that said like, insurance companies won't insure if the roof is over like 10 years old or 12 years
So it's
old or
getting out of
something?
hand. Yeah.
Yeah,
it's getting
that's-
out of hand.
yeah.
It's getting out of hand.
That's crazy.
I think that they got screwed past couple of years with a lot of these storms and stuff that have rolled in.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah, we got a free,
right.
honestly,
Yeah.
like
So
20 years
I'm
ago.
actually hoping, because this is
15.
storm damage that these people are dealing with, that I'm hoping they can use an insurance claim to deal with it. Yeah. I know. I don't think they have it. These are the positions that we get in that we're like, ooh, I don't like this part of the job. This part of the job, yeah, this problem solving part, this isn't fun. Earnest money, how much do you want to put down for earnest money, right? Like, that's always a big thing. Earnest money is an interesting topic.
Yeah,
Because earnest money, it typically should be at least 1% of that of the home, right? But 1% is a lot for some people. So, I mean, I kind of go by the rule of thumb. Listen,
you're being recorded.
yeah, am I? Okay, I kind of go by the rule of thumb. Okay, so I have a high-end listing that is in Westchester. It's like $650, right? But the person they went under pending contract with, they're only putting down $2,500. Now, you could be an asshole listing agent, be like, come on, this is like a $500,000 house. Like, I need more earnest money than that, but it's still 25 bucks. I don't know. I don't make a big deal about earnest money, but some people will make a big deal about earnest money. Like Tony Jenkins, I'm sure you guys have met Tony Jenkins, maybe. He's in here, kind of, tall, gray hair, great guy. He's been in this business forever. He never pays more than $1 for earnest money. Like, he never writes in more than like $1 or $100. I don't know how he's good at it. That's pretty low. But I usually tend to be like a 300,000 or under. I'd say like 500 to $1,000 is fine, right? If you're looking at 300 or over, you probably need to be between 1,500, 2,500. Yeah. 1% is a lot. And when you're already, and yes, it's going to the bottom line, but it's also cash out of
Upfront.
pocket. Yeah, it's like out of their pocket. So earnest money is a tough one. I always say, try to get away with as little as possible.
Yeah.
Because man, if shit hits the fan and they gotta lose that, it sucks. It sucks.
Mm-hmm.
It sucks. And it, like 2, 3 years ago, when it was crazy market, you had to show, like, people wanted high earnest money in order to win the offers. You want to talk about anxiety? People put down like $5,000 and $10,000 in earnest money and being like, oh my God, if anything goes wrong and they lose this $10,000.
Or just gets tied up.
Yeah, like I'm
Months.
just gonna throw up. Yeah, like awful.
I think a lot of listed agents to make the buyer think twice about that.
Yes,
Oh, absolutely.
yes,
Possibly work out.
100%. That's why I'm saying, so you'll run into agents that are like total dicks about it. And then you'll run into agents that just are kind of cool. Like they're like okay with it. The stupid stuff, and they still got their earnest money back. They lost it. Yeah. Now that's a different story. When they're backing out on stupid stuff, you as the buyer's agent need to say, I'm warning you. You've committed to this contract. You've written the offer. This is not a liable reason for you to back out. Like you're probably not going to get it back.
Because if you find something in inspection that's like a minor not list,
Yeah, can't back out on that.
can't back out on it. I mean, it's different if you find like the sewers, collapsed street.
Right.
That's totally different.
Or it's structural or it's safety and they're refusing to fix that. Totally different story.
But if it's like, I don't even know, the light switch was upside down,
Can't back out.
can't back out.
Or hey, we found this other house we like better. Yeah, that sucks. Yeah, that sucks.
I had a couple that decided over the weekend. to that house.
Yeah. I had, right. They backed out. So did they get their earnest money back? Okay. Yeah. Well, and some people, again, $500, I guess maybe that's not that much. So they're like, it's worth it rather than investing and driving. That's what I'm saying. Always try to make your earnest money as low as you possibly can. Really. Yeah.
If you're a buyer.
I had a veteran back out because he had PTSD and he didn't realize that the backyard backed up to a one of those traffic circles. How he did, they weren't my buyer, but how you don't realize that the traffic circle is right backs up to the backyard. I'm not sure how we missed that one, but it was like, dude, he has PTSD. So we gave him our earnest money back, but it had only been literally 24 hours. If you wait through the weekend, that house has been pending now on the market.
Yeah.
So you've lost time and you didn't lose time. You lost the weekend.
Right.
So that's annoying.
And there's the question of why. It
Yeah.
does bring a little nugget of doubt about
Yeah.
the property,
Yeah.
even though it's not about the property.
No. And that's one of those things for you as the buyer's agent, you have to go back and just be honest. Be like, yeah, my client, they are, they didn't realize, they don't like the drive. Honesty, it's always the best policy, really. Because if you have the good relationship that you built with the listing agent, you just go back and say, here's the deal, they don't want to drive the drive. But if you're cool with them, usually we try to get your earnest money back. Right. Oh, yeah. Oh, God, yeah. Sorry. Wasn't it on there?
No. But it's okay.
Okay, it's okay. Yeah, we're there. We're back, you guys. We're back. Due diligence, inspection period. Okay, so inspection periods can go, they're all over the place. If you're doing limited inspections, you probably don't need that much time, right? I mean, and the quicker the inspection period, the better your offer is because it's a huge hurdle and no one wants to deal with it any longer than they possibly have to. But if you're only getting a limited number of inspections, you could probably go like 3 days. I mean, I typically go, if they're gonna do a full house inspection, a sewer scope, you can usually get it done in 5 days. So I usually put 5 days on there if you're in kind of a more competitive situation with your offer. If you're in a less competitive and you've got a little bit more time on your hands, I'd go 7 to 10 just to, I guess, make it easier on the buyer and the seller. It's the agents who don't like the inspection period.
Mhm.
So I just try to get it over with as soon as possible because I just want it done.
Are there any inspectors that include the whole house, the sewers?
Yes, yes. Brian from Master Inspections, he's an affiliate. He does all of it. We have multiple, Jared Gerard, they do all of it. They're very close in price. I think Brian's a little cheaper. Do it all at once, and that's what you want. You want them to come out, bust all of it out, all of that one day. Sewer, termites, all of it. I mean, most inspectors do termite at the same
Yeah.
time. But the sewer scope, a lot of people self-contract that out, so that could be a different day. Or what if your client's looking at a house where you were down there and you're like, I don't like love the look of the foundation, or what's that water in the basement coming from? You could then call out somebody completely different, like the basement doctor, to just give like their opinion in that 5 days, because that's a free estimate typically.
Do you, like, if you're writing an offer, do you call your, well, you wouldn't, I was gonna say, do you call an inspector to give them a heads up? Hey, I'm putting this offer in. Or it's probably gonna be.
Probably gonna be accepted.
Accepted. Can you put me on your books ASAP?
Well, because
they're not. Yeah.
yes, and the buyer
I-
has to
as
make
I-
the appointment.
as
Yes,
I-
you cannot, because even though there are affiliates, I always give them 3 names.
Yes, I
Yeah,
answered my question
yeah.
in my brain.
And
as
I
was going.
usually put whoever my favorite is at the top of the list.
Yeah.
You know, but I say they're all great and equal, but they all have different pricing. Their schedules are not the same. So just try to get whoever you can,
Do
who
you ever
you
have a-
feel comfortable with price wise, and get it on the schedule as soon as you can.
Do you ever have a buyer who just wants to get an inspection done, but just is like lazy or incompetent that they can't call to schedule?
I have had people
You know
that
what
are
I mean?
just slow on the gun.
Yeah, slow, like then they're like, oh, they can't fit us in the
Yeah.
4 days that we wrote.
Right.
And then what do you do?
Well, I guess that's what you gotta strike that sense of urgency, like right at the beginning, like, okay, we're under contract, things are gonna move real fast here, the next 24, 48 hours, this is how much time you have to do this, 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 and this. And if you don't, I mean, we're on a contract, so we have to follow the deadlines, and if we can't make the deadlines, then you're gonna lose the house. But you usually know to give that speech.
Yeah, I mean, I would
Because you
never-
know if people are moving slow before you even get to that point,
right.
you're like, oh yeah, these people are slow.
And then what
Like
happens?
you send them stuff to sign,
And then they take
Yeah,
hours.
you
the
send them
day.
the buyer's agent agreement, all that stuff to sign right away. It takes them like 3 days to sign that shit. You're like, okay, these people are slow.
So what, like, have you ever had a buyer that like doesn't get their inspection scheduled before the contract time is up?
Yes.
And then,
And that's usually not, I will say this, in my experience, it's not usually the fault of the buyer. It's usually generally because there's no inspector that can get them on the schedule. And then you just write an addendum and you extend that inspection period. But again, I guess I'd always rather start off with 5 days, but if we gotta extend it, awesome.
Okay.
But I'm like, let's just bust this out.
Yeah.
Let's get through this as soon as we can.
Mhm.
And the list agent wants to get through it too, because if something
It's
goes
off,
wrong,
yeah.
it's off the market, so you're losing all that time,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
So you wanna get through inspections.
Yeah, if you're a listing agent, like as a listing agent, would you like,
Encourage that,
yeah,
yes.
would you ever advise your listing, your client, sellers to like, you know, you can accept everything else on this contract except the terms of the length of the inspection.
Of
You're
the
gonna,
inspection,
you're gonna
right.
send that back. And they ask for 10 days, you're gonna send that back to 5 days.
Oh, yeah, 10 days for sure, I would ask for at least 7. I would shorten it by maybe 5, shorten it by half is a lot. If they came in at 10. It also depends on the house. You know what I mean? Like if you're in a house that you know you could get sold right away again, like because it was a nice house and it went under contract like quick, great. If it was a house that was sitting on the market, you got, you know, obviously you're a little more
Right.
lenient with those.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that house in Westchester I'm talking about, it took forever to get it pending. So I'm being real flexible with the buyers because it's a small pool of buyers.
Mhm.
So yeah, I guess every situation is so different. That's why it's good to have people in the office that you can call constantly. Like, again, this is why this office is big. You can find an answer to a question Any time of day.
Mhm.
Like you could really find someone to talk. You should be able to find someone to call or ask at 10, 11 o'clock at night if you have to. And I still love that because I still have so many, I'm still in so many situations sometimes where I'm like, what am I supposed to do here? What's the deal here?
So basically, you're saying we can call you.
Oh, yeah. I may not have the answer, but you could definitely call me. Yeah.
It would be a fun conversation.
Yeah, because I will tell you straight up if I don't know. Yeah, I'm like, oh, girl, I don't know. Yeah, right. Well, so this isn't, again, now this is interesting because every house in it is different, right? And
Right.
every price point is completely different. So in showing time, when I pulled this house up, so we had been on the market for 7 weeks. We had 5 showings. That was it. Okay. We started out at a specific price. We had done price drops. So we had 5 showings just even with all the price drops and everything, right? So, but when you pulled all the data and the research up in showing time, what it showed me was that at that price point, which was 675 to 700, there had only been a total of 9 showings in the area code or the zip code of 45069. Like the entire zip code, there were only 9 showings in those 7 weeks, and we were 5 of them. So I was like, well, shit, we're like half the showings. So like your house is beautiful. People want to see it that are in that price point. But then if you knock that price point down to even like a $25,000, $30,000 less, there had been like 25 showings in those 7 weeks.
Yeah.
So like that kind of stuff is like interesting.
So is that kind of the buyer market telling you the value of the house?
Totally.
Okay.
Totally. Because you're like,
Because
here's
of
the
the
deal, man.
interest.
You're at a high price point in Westchester. Like there's only a very small pool of people that are looking at this price point in Westchester.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's hard.
Is that because that's Lakota, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Because then Sims, like I maybe have potential, fingers crossed,
Yeah.
seller in Sims.
Okay.
And like right now, there is nothing for sale within a half mile of your house, and within a mile, there's like 2,
There's like 2. Okay. And what's the price point?
like 850.
Oh yeah. See, that's a lot. See, again, we're in a different market. Like those high end price points, like 600 and over, that's a high, there's a small pool of people looking at that. So it's gotta be a special, now, if it's an incredible property, it's gone.
It's pretty.
It's gone.
It's pretty.
Yeah, well, then it'll probably be gone.
Because it just doesn't seem like there's a lot of competition.
Right, then it'll probably be gone. And is it I mean, if it's clean, if it's perfect, if it's updated, like.
It, I'm not quite sure, but like everything else around is a little higher.
Yeah.
Like 900s and above.
Okay, so it might be priced to sell that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you never know. But I would say those high price points, not a lot of people looking for this.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people looking for this. The pool is definitely smaller. Right, well, and those people, they have money.
Yeah, those people have money.
So they're like, they're even more concerned. Because they would like to keep their money because they have money.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. You look at a price point like 200 to 400, you're getting a way different amount of showings on those properties
Mhm.
because so many people are in that comfy price point. Yeah, but nine total showings over the course of 6 or 7 weeks. I mean, it's crazy.
That's crazy.
It's also nice to be able to know that and be like, hey, we were 50% of this.
Right.
Because then they know, okay, so you're not like a total piece of shit agent. Like you're doing like something. Time for seller acceptance. 24 hours. I mean, I usually give people 24 hours, unless you're in multiple offers. Like if you're in multiple offers, now again, we're in a different market, but if you're in a multiple offer situation, if you send them an offer at noon on Sunday, honey, I want to know by like 7 at night. Like I don't want to wait 24 hours. And a lot of the times, this is how I've gotten houses. They say we want 48 hours to review all offers, even if you're in a multiple offer situation. I went back to them and been like, here's the deal. If you got a killer offer and you're going in at over asking, you're skipping contingencies, like you're giving them a solid offer, you go back to them and say, they have to know by 7 o'clock tonight. There was another house that they're looking at. They're it's either, but your buyer also has to be comfortable with that because it's do or die. It's do or die.
If you're listing a property, do you, because I've seen where, like, we've gone and looked at stuff and it's like, accepting multiple offers by, highest and best by
Keep those
Sunday.
people- How do they know that? They don't know that.
I know, I just see it
It's so
all
crafty.
listed.
I'm like, well, you think you've got it going on. Like,
Yeah.
you're gonna have all these
Gold
offers.
toilets.
Yeah.
But if you're listing a property, do you ever do stuff, like, how do you get buyers to have a sense of urgency to get
The offers right
the
away.
offers right away?
Well, that's tough because you gotta kind of let the market like do it in the market that we're in right now. Again, 2 years ago, you could have put that on
Yeah.
in your MLS listing, like, hey, we're holding offers open until Sunday night at 6 p.m.
Mhm.
But like now, it's just not like that. Like it's becoming more balanced.
Yeah.
So I think if you put something like that in the MLS, it makes you look like an asshole.
Yeah. I always thought when we would see it, I would always be like,
Yeah.
how do you know?
How do you know that you're holding on to this like group? Yeah, I mean, I think it kind of makes you look bad now. Now you let the market speak for you. If you put that on the MLS and you have 10 showings the first day, you know you need to be prepared for multiple offers. And that's when I would just tell everybody, right? Because if you have 10 showings, you're gonna have multiple people that are calling you saying, hey, do you have any activity? And that's when you say, FYI, tons of activity. I've had like 10 showings today. I have a feeling we're probably gonna go into multiple offers. I'll keep you posted on timeline. So that's when you would probably tell everybody kind of upfront. But yeah, I don't think I'd put it on the MLS anymore. But yeah, 24 hours. I think that that's polite. If you send in an offer now at noon on Sunday, I would just say we want a response by noon on Monday. Now, I mean, unless you have a listing agent that really wants the 48 hours because somebody might be out of town, or they're dealing with older people and they're like a power of attorney. Like every situation, I would say they're situational. It matters. Financing terms. Well, obviously you want to go over your financing terms with your buyer. So financing terms, are you going conventional? Are you going FHA? Are you using a VA loan? This is stuff they already know. They know what they're approved for, so they know what kind of loan they're using. But that's a great time to talk about. When you're talking about the financing terms, I just go over all the money stuff. Okay, so we're gonna make this offer. You're gonna finance it conventional or FHA. If they're gonna go FHA, that's where you remind them, okay, that's based off of an FHA inspection appraisal. So there may be certain things we have to fix. Are we prepared to pay for that? Or if they don't want to pay for that, earnest money, I would go over that at that point. I mean, yeah, everybody financing terms, they usually know what they're financing. Buyer pre-approval letter, yeah, we talked about that. They usually have their buyer pre-approval letter. Closing date, are you flexible with the close? See, a lot of this stuff is repetitive. See, because didn't we just talk about this on the other side? Closing date, yeah, how are you feeling? Like, we got a lender that's like, let's bust this out, we can get it done in like 15 to 20 days. If the seller's comfortable with that, if you're comfortable with that, awesome. But they also might need to sell their house. If you're contingent, that's still kind of bad. You don't want to be contingent. Title company could usually get things done pretty quick. I'd say within 10 to 12 days. That's why when you have a cash offer, you realistically could close within 7 to 10 days.
Yeah.
Based on the title. But if it's finance, it's more of the underwriting that takes so long.
The title companies that we've used, I mean, they could pull and run title
Pretty
like
quick.
in 48 hours,
Yeah, pretty quick.
you know,
Yeah.
pretty dang quick.
Closing date, home warranty. This is a big one. And home warranties are like coming back into play now, right? Because it is more of a balanced market.
Yeah.
I mean, home warranties, no one was using home warranties before. I still recommend home warranties to, especially to like first time home buyers. Most of them are not looking at brand new houses or things that have been updated. I mean, anytime I see an HVAC or a water heater and the major mechanics, HVAC, water heater, those big things, if they're old, home warranty. Totally worth $500 a year to just have that peace of mind. Because if HVACs and stuff are super old, they're not fixing those anymore. They'll totally trash them and just get you a new one. So I highly recommend a home warranty. Again, if you're looking at a house that's been sitting on the market for a while, oh, hell yeah, I write in a warranty every time. Every time. If it's day one on the market and you're writing an offer, I probably don't write in a home warranty. But if I know the HVAC's old, I would tell the buyer. I would probably purchase a home warranty. And that's something that once you're under contract, you go back to them and say, okay, let's readdress the home warranty thing. What are you feeling? Like, do you feel like you want to do that? You can write it in and you can pay for it at closing, roll it right into your closing costs. It's way easier.
And HVAC, I mean, now it seems like it's like 10 years and a unit's
Isn't that
old.
awful?
Like, and same with hot water tanks. If it's 10 years,
Yeah.
it's pretty much done.
And hot water tanks, that used to be a like reasonable repair. And now it's
Yeah,
not.
they're so expensive.
And now it's not. It's like $3,000.
Yeah, we just replaced our 20-year-old
Water heater.
water heater. It was $2,000 for our HVAC guy to come do it.
Yeah.
And my husband did it for nothing, just for that.
Yes.
But a unit is $900 for an off-the-shelf basic.
Yes.
And it didn't used to be that expensive.
No. And if you have a pro and, put it, install it, it's expensive.
And central air is absolutely outrageous. I mean, it can be like 20 grand.
Yeah.
30 grand.
Yeah, especially if they don't have air ducts and stuff. That house I was talking about earlier that didn't have central air. How the hell I didn't notice they had air ducts? But I mean, this is the kind of stuff that you will miss it at the beginning.
Yeah.
Because you're not used to looking for it. I mean, I remember looking at houses that we didn't notice the HVAC, the central air thing outside. Oh my God. Those are things that you will miss because you're new and you just don't catch it. I mean, I missed it. I missed it multiple times. Yeah, but that house that I didn't realize there were air ducts, I'm like, oh my God, obviously. The minute you see baseboard heat, you need to look for air ducts.
Yeah. Radiator.
Yeah, because baseboard heat is a sign that there might not be air ducts, so there might not be central air. There's also usually signs, like you see AC units in the windows, right? But you don't see those in the winter. If you're showing houses in the winter, they don't have the AC units in the window, so you miss that shit. Yeah. Your approval, closing date, home warranty, repair limits. I don't even know what that is, so let's just skip it. I mean, I think what they're saying is actually, I take that back. I know what they mean. Yeah, okay, inspection. So if you want to have inspections, say, we're not gonna ask for anything if a single item is over $10,000, but anything, 10,000 or anything $10,000 and under, we're not gonna ask for any repairs for that single item. But if it's a single item totaling over $5,000 or over $10,000, we're obviously gonna ask you to repair it. So that's another way of, again, going easy on inspections. It's for informational purposes only. I mean, it's all kind of, like you can always find a way to fix something.
Yeah.
But if it makes everybody feel more confident moving forward, those are great terms to write in. Special clauses. Okay, so this would be like appraisal gap, like gap appraisal, that you're going to cover that. Again, these are multiple offer situations. Like very rarely does a gap come into play anymore, but it's highly, highly awesome when you can have a gap coverage in a multiple offer situation, because if those people have extra cash on hand, because that's something a gap you can't cover. If that's not part of your closing costs, that's cash out of pocket again. So you go into a situation, you're going over asking on this property because you really, really love it. It's only worth $320,000, but we're going in at $350,000. We're doing it. We want this house. And then the appraisal comes back and it's like, well, the house is okay. It's worth $335,000. Well, you're still short $15,000. So we've already told you we'll cover at least $7,500. We'll cover at least half of that. So you're going in right away knowing that they're going to get that assurance of that money being covered, right? A lot of times you don't have appraisal gap. So if the house under appraises, then you renegotiate. So again, those are the two big things. You want to get through inspections, boom, done. Get through appraisals, boom, done. You can get through those two things, you're pretty much golden, right? But the appraisal, if the house under appraises, you, as a buyer's agent, you 100% renegotiate.
Yeah.
And the ball is way in your court at that point, because you're like, yeah, no, they're first time buyers, or yeah, no, they have no other money. They have everything they're bringing cash and close. So we either have to drop out or we have to drop the price. And by that point, I mean, you're so far into the process, the seller will always get it.
So if like you had a property, let's say you have people that bought their house in 22 for 700,000,
Okay.
but now comps show it somewhere between 825 to 875.
Right, okay.
In the 3 years, would you say that if you priced it to sell, would an appraiser come back and have it that bumped in the 3 years? Do you know what I'm saying? Like they bought it and it obviously appraised for what they bought it for.
Right, okay.
But 3 years later, here we're up $125,000
Right.
plus.
Okay.
Would it make sense that appraiser comes back and said, 3 years, I don't think that price has jumped that much?
Well, he would base it off of the comps.
Yeah,
And he would base off of, again, everything that an appraiser is gonna look at is comps.
okay.
They don't care if you have Gen Air appliances,
Yeah.
okay? They don't care. You bought those for you. You didn't buy those for the new buyer. They're gonna look at square footage, bedrooms, bathrooms, and comps. That's it. They don't care really about anything else. So if again, I show up for the appraisals.
Yeah,
I show up as the agent for my list, if I'm listing a house or I show up with the comps. This is why it's worth this much. This is, unless you have an appraisal cap in place. I mean, that's different.
are you allowed
But
to
no, I
show
don't
up
think-
for the appraisal?
As the list agent, I would think as the list agent.
Okay.
Yeah, if you're the buyer's agent, I usually tend to reach out to the list agent and say, hey, we really want this house to appraise. We don't want to have to renegotiate again, because guess what? My buyers, they don't have the extra money to make up so if you want to get your money's worth, what are we gonna say with the appraiser? Yeah, I mean, I always,
Okay.
yeah, because again, that's a big hurdle, especially if you bought the house, you know. You usually kind of have a good idea, don't you think, Sean?
I feel like they are in favor of the listing agents or the listing part of it. I should say now. Like when it was the seller's market, there was I don't know which way they want to go. but
Right.
now it usually goes away, deals on.
Yes.
Like,
And they, I think, rely more on the listing agent to have priced it correctly now, to have ran the comps, ran this price per square footage.
Yep.
And again, that's something that's a list agent. You can't just go by comps like total price of the house. You really need to look at total price of the house, square footage comparisons, because a lot of the times it looks like it's overpriced. But if you look at the square footage compared to the square footage on this house, that's a hell of a fighting point with the appraiser.
And another thing I'm seeing too is that the old like the auditor site
Yeah,
might say it might not show the finished basement,
right.
but the listing agent has done the work and have that in there. So when you do your comps, if you're
Right.
sometimes that's cheaper. Oh, this basement is here. So it's really worth more.
Because this one was not, yeah. Yeah, so you gotta do your due diligence with the appraisal stuff, because,
Because-
man, you do want the house appraised.
Yeah, because isn't the square footage price based on above grade square footage and not the
Yes.
finished basement?
Essentially, but like a finished basement, I mean, it does add so much value to a home.
Well, sure.
And they will see that, like an appraiser will see a finished basement and the value that it brings.
So let's say square footage price is like $238 a square foot. But that's not counting the 1,000 square feet of finished basement.
Right,
So that kind of bumps the comp,
based off of that, I mean.
but you
because
can't
again,
really add that.
That's where, yeah,
in, But it's kind of like, well, that's why you're paying an extra $35,000.
right, you can't really count it in the square footage, but it's a huge added value to your home, right, finished square footage. I mean, finished, lower level.
Is that I didn't know that. So it's not finished. So it's only above ground?
I mean, unless there's a walkout or an egress, essentially you really shouldn't be counting it as square footage. Yeah, egress or a walkout. If you have an egress out of the window, you can count that as square footage.
Oh, you can't.
Yeah, again, this is probably a good question for Brian Jackson, everybody. So find Brian Jackson after this class.
We're gonna track them down.
Yeah, he always knows those kind of, but I've always been of the impression that in order to really count it as square footage, it has to have a walkout or an egress. But God, the value of a finished basement, I mean,
But the egress, I thought was to turn, like, if you wanted to say,
It was
there's
a
a fifth
bedroom.
bedroom.
yes,
It had to have the egress.
yeah, that
for,
too.
You know, to
Yep.
make it a true bedroom.
Yes, that too. It has to have an egress window and closet.
Yeah, in the club. So
But because it has an egress window, you can count that space then as square footage.
that would go into the above grade
Yes,
square footage. Because
Yes.
on the listings, you know, it'll show like square footage with finished basement might be 4,000,
mm-hmm,
but then above grade square foot, it says 3,200.
right.
So, but then the price per square foot
Really
is,
should be above ground if there's no lower level walkout.
so if you had 100 square feet or 500 square feet with egress, you could add it to that 3,200.
Yes,
It would be 3,700.
right.
And then you could times the $238.
Yes,
per
yes,
square
yes, yes,
foot. Okay.
yes,
to get value.
yes. It's confusing.
It is because then you're kind of all, you have a range, then you're kind of all over to like,
Right,
it could be this, but if somebody doesn't agree with you, it could be this.
right. And again, when I first started, I didn't really calculate square footage, price per square foot, like I did like total comp prices.
Right.
And then I think I had a couple agents hit me with like these fancy agents that hit me with shit stuff. I was like, oh. I'm done.
Have you ever talked about the price per square foot?
No, we didn't.
I have problems with that, like, what do you guys use, like, go by for the price per square foot?
I usually use the comps, like the total comp prices, and I just divvy up their price per square foot.
Okay.
It'll do it in a one line.
Mm-hmm.
It'll do, you know, when you do the one line comps, it'll show you the square foot price of each comp that you run. And that's,
And you
it
can,
gives you an
you can
average.
chat GPT it.
Yeah.
You can say, what is the average price per square foot of
Blah, blah, blah.
these 3 streets or something in
Okay.
Westchester? I've done that too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I use the bots. Yeah, I'm a big fan of the bots.
It's a very intelligent brain.
It is.
for
I'm
our
into
intelligent
it. It's a
brains.
tool. I
It's a tool,
love it.
yeah.
But
Uh,
what you guys are talking about, it shows that realtors are needed in job security, because Zillow is not going to do the
Yeah.
detailed work.
No. no, we're needed. We're not going anywhere. There's no bots taking over our gig for sure. It's freezing in here.
It's always freezing in here.
Is everybody cold? William, the dudes are always high. Are you okay? Are you cold? Okay, well, just bump it up. Couple.
It won't. You won't be able to provide it.
Right, right.
Controlled by corporate.
Addendums. Okay, so that's for like any like crazy, you know, if you need to write a lot of extra information into your offer. I mean, honestly, I would say that's not typical right now. Most of the stuff you can fit on all those little 5 lines, like right there. If you can't, it's usually something weird, and I would ask someone. Okay, so talking through the offer, I would review the contract, be sure your buyer understands the contract. Has everyone looked at a contract? Should we go through the contract, or can we skip that part, or does anybody have?
Have you looked through the contract yet? Look at you.
He's got his contract printed out. Okay, do we want to go through a contract? Okay. Oh, so that's a list contract. Okay, okay. So, which is the buyer's, it's much more long and detailed. But obviously, this is the perfect opportunity. You go back through the contract with them. This is how much we're spending, this is how much we're financing. We're doing a conventional loan. This is how much we're putting down as earnest money. We're going with an inspection period of 5 days. We're gonna try to flush that out. Do we have any other clauses? We just go through everything. Be sure they understand it. If they have any questions, obviously, this should now be probably the 4th time that we're really going through everything. We did it at the buyer's consult. We did it when we were at the house talking about making the offer. We did it before I wrote the offer. Now I've written the offer, and now we're gonna go over it again. Because man, you want to make sure you cross all your T's and dot your I's with those. Review details, pricing, closing date, inspection, contingencies, conveyances. Remember, we talked about if there's no refrigerator, are you okay with that? Okay, great. You remember it's got baseboard heat, there's no central air, you're gonna have to put in an air, are you okay with that? Okay, great. Know what is essential in your area. Again, that's probably pre-approval if they're talking about that again. Pre-approvals, disclosures, those are all essential pieces of the contract. Agency disclosure, again, I say that's another one. People always forget the agency disclosure.
Because do you send
So-
that as a buyer's
Yeah,
agent
so when
too?
I send my contract, I'll show you exactly what I'm sending. I'm sending pre-approval,
Uh-huh,
offer to purchase, contract to purchase, property disclosure, lead place disclosure if needed.
Yep.
Agency disclosure.
okay.
Yeah,
And that's the agency disclosure that you have your buyer sign
I usually have them sign that with
when you
the
do a
contract to
buyer.
purchase.
Okay, so you don't do it at the time of um, exclusive rights buyer.
I guess I
agent.
usually wait because it might be with another agent in your office. That agency disclosure basically goes over, these are the people that are representing me, right? It's either so-and-so from this office, but there's also those sections that are, we're being represented by two agents, the list and the buy side that are both in the same office. So you kind of have to disclose that in one section. So I usually wait because they may be buying a house where we have to disclose that it's two agents from the same office.
Okay,
Oh, you might be thinking of the consumer guide to agency.
yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
I am so sorry. I
No,
should.
that's okay.
Yeah,
That's the.
that I
sounds
have
like
them sign
You signed
immediately.
that?
Yes.
You signed that? Okay,
Yeah. Yeah, so
Yes.
that just goes over our role as agents, right? Like, this is what
Right.
a buyer's agent does, this is what a listing agent does. Yeah, you're gonna get that signed when you have your buyer's agency agreement signed.
Right.
Yeah, those two, right up front.
and then you do all the disclosures, obviously. I'm
When
writing
you're
this down.
sending the offer. Yeah,
And then you do the agency disclosure.
yeah. And sometimes, like, again, when I list, I put the agency disclosure in the MLS docs. But a lot of agents don't do that. So I think that's why it gets lost a lot, because people forget to, I don't know, fill it out. I don't know. A lot of people don't send that with their offers.
Okay.
Do you think that's typical?
The agency disclosure.
Yeah, like a lot of people just send like contract purchase, property disclosure,
I sent
pre-approval. Yeah, see, I sent it with mine too. So maybe that's like something they taught us here, like early on. Cause I don't remember ever not sending it with offers.
Right. So I would think that want to.
We can't just get it out of the way.
Yeah.
Cause the problem is then if you, everybody forgets about it. And then you're going to close out your command when you're getting ready to get.
You can't do it.
Hey, I forgot to have you sign this like a month ago. And now we need to send it back over to you to have them sign it too. Okay, let's see. We talked about everything. Yes, okay. Any ahas? I don't think we really have any ahas because we're kind of going through everything. What time is it here? 10:45.
But
Okay.
in here, if people are getting them to sign the consumer guide, good agent, so I like.
That's right.
reminded that should be signed.
I mean, that's the first thing. I mean, if you're
Well, and it's easy. There's no pressure to sign that.
right,
you
it's
know?
like, this is just legal mumbo jumbo so
Yeah,
that
that
you
doesn't
understand how we work.
take that doesn't take a lot of pressure to explain.
Yeah.
Right, there's no promise of money in that.
Yeah, no, this is what I did. Yeah, this is what I did. These are my jobs.
Because you have to, I mean, even if you are a listing agent, you have your sellers sign that.
Oh, yeah,
too.
yep.
I mean, that's everybody signs that.
Everybody signs it right up front. Yep.
So,
Okay. Present the offer. Oh my gosh. Let's see if this is the same checklist. Double check all documents. Okay, we're not gonna spend a long time on this because this is a lot of repetitive stuff, right? Present the offer checklist. Okay, we're gonna double check all our documents. We're gonna follow any additional instructions that the listing agent may have given us. We're gonna label all the, okay, so we talked about this earlier, you're gonna label all your documents clearly, like in my DocuSign or Dotloop, I mean, I label contract to purchase Dresden, Property disclosure, Dresden. Lead-based paint, Dresden. You want everything to look uniform, and so that when you send over that full contract as one downloaded PDF, and then you send them all those individual PDFs, they know exactly what they can click on to find, right?
And you label it with the street name
I do.
Okay.
Yeah,
as opposed to the buyer name.
yeah, some people use buyer name, I mean, everybody's different, I guess I just keep it by
What
address.
do you, I keep, the address. LBD.
Yep, yep, me too, and I shorten everything, PD, LBD, keep CTP, just to keep everything more like concise and in line.
I think so. Sometimes it's buyers.
Yeah, you gotta know which property.
Different loops and different, what is it called, DocuSign? Different rooms, yeah, different rooms, different loops, got it. So order your documents, email the summary, so every time I send that over, you're gonna do multiple things when you present the offer. One, text them, I just sent the offer. Two, when you're emailing them the offer, I go over all those big points. Buyer is excited about the purchase of the home, flexible buyer, fell in love with the home, something like that. Offer is this much, conventional FHA, VA, putting down this much earnest money, inspection period with this, and then you write all your clauses or addendums, additional information, and then I usually say this offer is open until 8 p.m. tomorrow, or the 24 hours, or like I said, we talked about how you wanna set that up.
Did you send that separately, or did you put that in the loop as a note?
So we talked about this earlier. You can either send the offer through Dotloop or DocuSign. So if I send it through Dotloop, I put it in the Dotloop notes. But if I send it via email, I'll write an email. People used to do cover letters. Like, again, I don't do a cover letter anymore because I guess I'm not trying to be as fancy as we were, trying to stand out, which is probably bad on my part. I should probably still do a cover letter. But I feel like a quick, like, little bullet points of everything that's important in the contract that the list agent wants to see right off the bat. That's the stuff they want to see right off the bat. Yeah. Closing dates.
Do you, so like if you had a buyer who's like, I'm not gonna get a sewer inspection or roof inspection, even though you're like, I think you should call a roofing company and get a roof inspection or
Right.
get a sewer inspection. And they're like, no, I don't want to do that. Do you follow up with an email to your buyer to say, I definitely recommend, I understand that you don't want to do that, but I just want to let you know that I highly recommend, so that it's
Well, this is
written.
tricky. It's a form that you fill out. So they have to sign a form that says we are choosing to do an inspection or we are choosing not to. And then they sign off on it.
Okay.
I try to keep my mouth shut in that because it really, I can only advise them to do so much during the whole buying process. Like when we're looking at houses, everything, we're talking about inspections, right?
Yeah.
We're talking about whether or not you should have one, and roof inspection will come with your whole house inspection. They'll go over the roof as well.
Okay.
But like that sewer scope, that's something you're gonna talk
That's
about
fine.
when you're looking at houses. If you're looking at houses that are 100 years old, it's like this. I'm advising you highly, you have 100% no doubt you need a sewer scope.
Yeah.
These are all clay pipes, they're 100 years old, like I highly recommend.
Yeah.
There's tons of trees in this neighborhood, I highly recommend a sewer scope. Even when I send them the 3 recommendations, the email, yay, congrats, you're under contract, these are the next steps you're gonna follow. I send 3 inspectors that I recommend, and I always say, whole house inspection, sewer scope, termite. Those are what you're asking for. Now, when they call and reach out to the inspectors are gonna offer them different packages, and that's, at
That's
that
what
point,
follows-
it's on them.
Okay.
It's on them, it's their money, they're paying for the inspections. If they decide, man, I really just don't wanna pay extra for that. And some people have tight budgets,
Yeah.
so they're willing to take the chance,
Hmm.
And some people have lost out on 15 houses because they can't get an offer accepted, and by the time they get to number 15, they're like, I don't fucking care, just give me inspections. And then you're like, okay,
And they sign off on that, so they can't come
but they
back.
sign off on that, yeah, so that's not on you, yeah.
And then too, I learned this part, the clay pipes or whatever, that it might collapse.
Yes. Yes,
That it's automatic.
yes, yes.
So, yeah, now I make sure my buyers, my first time home buyers know you specifically ask for this bridge backup or whatever your insurance company calls it. Cover in case of pipes or trees.
Yeah.
Yeah, so do you do that when they don't want to do the sewer scope, or when they do the sewer scope and it looks okay, but there may be some dips or something?
Mine are, they don't want the funds for that extra, so now
Yeah.
I'm making sure everybody knows. Even now, I'm going back, it's my way to contact my old buyers and say, hey,
Just reminding you,
Yep.
that's smart,
Didn't know that.
right?
So now-
That's great advice. I wouldn't have done that. That's a great idea.
There's a lot on insurance policies now that is not covered, that used to be, used to be standard, that's not covered now.
So,
It's under the house, you know?
Right.
The house,
But
they're sneaky.
Yep.
bastards. That's all good. Okay, you want to add all your documents to command or?
Yeah.
Command, yes.
put it in the opportunity or whatever.
Yes.
Thing.
And then you want to just consult with your buyer. Okay, I sent in the offer. They have till 8 p.m. tomorrow. Keep you posted. Aha. Okay, receive and respond. Where are we at? Okay, you got three close. Receive and review. Okay, so you as a listing agent, you're gonna make sure that the offer is complete, right? So this is a moment where if you don't see that they sent over an agency disclosure, I would probably reach out and say, hey, agency disclosure. People do forget that. Okay, buyer's agent, thank you so much for your offer. I've received it. Always let people know you've received the offer. Gosh, it's really annoying when they don't. You get offer to the seller in a timely manner, because now you're acting as the list. Now we're talking about being the listing agent, right? We're no longer the buyer's agent. We're stepping into the listing agent role. We have an offer. When's a good time for us to go over it? You want to make sure that's a phone call, or in person. Again, yeah, or in person. Create an executive summary. This is funny. What is an executive summary?
What is an executive summary?
Again, I guess those are probably those bullet points of the contract would be my executive summary. I've never really called it that. Or maybe, when you have multiple offers and you have a net sheet. So I guess there's multiple things involved in an executive summary. It's whether or not you choose to do so. Again, if you're a listing agent, they should have a net sheet already. That should be something that you're taking to your initial listing appointment so that they know if they fall between certain ranges, they have a good idea of what they're gonna come out clearing, right? But that might be what they need by executive summary.
Would it be the bullet points you send in the body of the email?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, your executive order, like, this is what they're going to offer. They're using a conventional loan for 30 years. This is another area where I go straight through the offer with them. So you want it to be on a phone call, because I email them the actual offer and I say, all right, let's look at it. This is where we're at, section by section. Because it also helps you to not miss anything. Because you've already went through the offer on your own a couple times, so that when you're talking to them, you're going through it again. So it's like doing your due diligence 2, 3 times. Always want to look over, because there's things that you'll miss. The conveyances, that's another time to go over conveyances. Are they asking for anything in particular that we were maybe willing to give? Like, we didn't have a refrigerator listed, but they have the refrigerator on here. They want the fridge. I know you want to take it with you, but they're asking for it. Yeah, or the air conditioning.
Do they, the net sheet, you just said the net sheet, do you give, like, is that something from the title company? Is that what you're talking about?
So net sheets, you can do a net sheet on the MLS. Title companies usually have like a net sheet they can send you that has all the info that's already in it.
Right.
And you just kind of stick in the address, you stick in like, what their first mortgage payoff is, what they're paying the agents.
Right.
Because there's really only the seller these days, it's still considered a seller's market, so they're still pretty much letting the buyers cover most of the closing costs. So the seller, typical, any more remaining mortgage, any HELOC they might have, if they have a HELOC, taxes they're gonna pay.
Right.
Listing, selling agents they're gonna pay, that's all been negotiated. There's really only about 5 or 6 things that they're paying for.
Yeah.
So you can find that usually pretty much much anywhere to stick it to a net sheet. Like I have a net sheet that I bought off Etsy. I paid like $2 for it.
Yeah.
And I just kind of put in all the stuff so they can see it, and then it calculates everything. Because it's like an Excel setup, so I just kind of punch in the numbers and then it calculates it for
Calculates
me.
it, yeah.
And I usually do like 3 different sites, like high, medium, low, and I give that to them at the list appointment. Like, this is where you're kind of gonna land if we list here and you get that. This is kind of where you're gonna land if we list here and you get that. So you always kind of want to give them options so that there's a big range that they know, okay, so if I fall somewhere between that, I kind of have a good idea where we're gonna
And
net.
how do you, okay, so that's how, I might want that Etsy link. I've bought stuff like
Yeah.
that on Etsy before. but
Yes.
it's so nice.
And if you get on Etsy,
Oh, yeah, there's thousands of
Yes.
them. So if you decided on one, it's
Yes.
so good. to
and
just
it's
have
cheap,
that.
and you guys, that is an untapped resource for
Oh,
realtors.
Etsy's
I feel like people don't use it. I mean, I use Etsy to make my buyer's console
Yeah.
listing package. I use it for marketing stuff. I use it Excel spreadsheets that I don't want to make. ChatGPT actually will do that kind of stuff for you now too, but
But
I'll pay
it's
$2. It's already done. They decorated it all
Yeah.
pretty for me. It
Yeah.
looks cute. Yeah, like I don't need to do anything.
I'm gonna show it at the meeting at 2 o'clock. That's all I think I'm gonna show it.
Oh, the net sheets?
Well, how quick you go to Etsy and pull up a buyer.
Yes.
Buyer's consultation, package.
Yes. And that is worth, I mean, because if you even spend $20 on Etsy to get one of those,
Right.
oh, it's worth $20.
Yeah.
It makes you look so professional, like it's totally worth the money. There are certain things that you gotta like kind of, pay money. To have it
It's
look
cheaper
pretty.
than like Amy Gregory,
Yeah,
package.
or my Canva one. I mean, Canva even has like buyer pick, then you gotta fill it all in.
You gotta, yeah,
Like Etsy, they do all the work for you. You literally just gotta change your name and number.
Yeah.
And of course they get local to your market. Call the buyer's agent. Okay, so this is a time I probably would call the buyer's agent. And by this point, you've talked to them on the phone multiple times. By this point, people have usually formed a texting relationship. And I'd say you're pretty good to go on a texting relationship unless something gets complex. Call the lender, always call the lender, always go to the pre-approval, always follow up with that number. Hey, calling on behalf of this person, what's the deal, what's going on? Definitely.
do people falsify a pre-approval letter?
I've never had that done.
But it's not unheard of?
I don't know. I would say nothing's unheard of. Yeah, I would say nothing's unheard of.
Because then if you call the lender, would they say, well, we were all good to go, but then this buyer bought a car and now it's a big
Well, they would
snag.
tell you that after you're under contract and they're going through underwriting.
Yeah.
But they're not gonna do that because you've already told your people don't buy a car.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
You guys have already learned all that. Don't buy a car, don't go finance furniture, hold up. Don't change jobs, just hold up, just hold up. Yeah, let's just get through the month and then you can do whatever you want. Create an outline document to reference when you call the sellers. I don't do that, but I guess you can. I mean, I just send them the offer and we go through it on the phone. And again, if you've done this before, some sellers don't want to even do all that. They just want the bullet points.
Mhm.
What's going on? What's the offer? Or some sellers, that's why they hire you. They're like, we don't need to go through all this. What's your opinion? Like, we're hired you. You figure it out. You tell me what I need to do. Which kind of puts the pressure on. Then you're like, shit. So I'm always trying to cover myself just in case anything happens, but. Receive and review. Okay, so make sure the offer, okay, this is the same slide, I think. Create an offer and command.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
that's
love-
the
they
same
love
one.
push
Okay, so
commands.
okay. Okay, so this is when you just need to be ready to talk about the offers with your seller that you received, right? Okay, so here's the offer. We went through all this. So how are we feeling? How are we feeling? Do we feel good about this? Is there anything that we want to negotiate further? Like, are you not happy with the price? Did they come in at a lower price? Do we want to counter and kind of try to meet them in the middle? A lot of the times, again, houses are sitting on the market a little longer now. So almost always when you're writing offers now, you're coming in much lower than what the actual offer is or what their actual asking price is, right? So if you want to land at a certain number, you go in way under that number. Because most of the time, it's a win-win for both sides. So you want to find a median of the minds. You want to try to meet in the middle somewhere, right? So if your sellers really want 550 or really want 535, and the offer's coming in at 520, then you want to counter them at 550.
Right.
Does that make sense? Because if you counter them at 520, then they're going to say, all right, let's try to meet them in the middle here.
There's always the split.
Yeah.
The meet in the middle is like classic. and
Yeah.
Forever and ever that I've bought houses.
Yeah,
it's
you meet in the
always,
middle. That is etiquette, I feel like.
Yeah. Okay, we're
And that's what I'm saying.
$7,000 difference. Let's meet in the
Yeah,
middle,
it's so
3,500.
etiquette that you even tell your buyer and your seller that before you
Yeah.
even counter. You say, okay, here's the deal. If we want to be here, they're gonna meet us in the middle. So we need to go in at this price when we counter. But this is the time, what are we gonna counter? They want a 10-day inspection period. How do we feel about that seller? We like a 10-day inspection period. We want to get through inspections. Do we want your house sitting off the market that long if something's wrong with it? Let's go back and counter the inspection period. Or they might come in, it's over asking, it's an asking price offer. They're coming in 5-day inspections. If the offer looks good, accept the offer. And if the offer is a good offer, your job as that listing agent is to be like this. This is a good offer. This is a good offer. It's full offer price. Like, let's just take it. Or you can completely reject the offer. And you never have to give a reason to that buyer's agent why you rejected it. But if your seller allows you to give a reason, then you give the reason.
Does your, like as a buyer's agent, would you call to ask?
Absolutely.
And they could say just like, because it was Wednesday, or they could say they wanted more in the price or they didn't
If
want.
they allow you to give the reason, if the seller allows you to give the reason, you could 100% let them know. Or you can say, there's no reason that I can give at this time.
Okay.
They just rejected the offer. Which sucks.
But what I'm saying is, if the offer is probably going to get a better offer. If they didn't have another offer, it's been my experience that they count instead of reject.
Right.
I think it's a bad-
See, but again, I would say that's a bad list agent. Because if they got another offer that's better and they don't, I would go back to the other person and say, okay, we're in multiple offers.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, we have another offer that just came in, like, we'll give everybody 24 hours to get back. So that's it.
Highest and best.
Yeah,
That's what
I
I've
mean,
been-
that's a bad list agent. A lot of times they'll reject it because your offer is so low. Like, I just wrote an general investors, investors. They just had me write an offer. I put the offer. I even called the listing agent first and I said, "Oh, it's low. It's low." Like, and I was looking for some guidance from the list agent, like, oh God, they're not even there. I was hoping to get a verbal opinion out of her, but instead it was, I'm happy to offer whatever, I present to my buyer, whatever you, so I had to write the offer, okay? Which was ridiculously low. They were asking $320 for the house. The investor wanted to offer $250. The house was worth at least $280, my professional opinion. So I knew $250 was just completely bogus. But I had to write it and they just flat out rejected it. They didn't even respond. And then the investor, it's like, you're $70,000 under.
Way back in the day, I did that and my agent at the time said, I won't write that offer.
Yeah,
And I was like, I'm gonna find a new agent.
yeah. I mean, you have to write the offer. That's you're working for that investor. You're working for that buyer. Like that is your job. And especially if you've already reached out to try to save that step. And then the other agent is like, I'll present. But I will say that agent wanted that low ball offer because that agent knows that that house is overpriced. So she's like, please, yes, write me a low ball offer so that I can give that to them to be like, this is what people are wanting to pay for the house. Even though he's still probably off by about $30,000.
And you gain their trust and you told them to go with 280 and they didn't even respond to the
Right.
250. So next time. you're
Right, because you know what happened? It went pending. It went pending in between. So that,
So that's what
it
they
is
do.
kind
They
of fun with
try
that.
to go way low so that they will come to it will give them their votes.
Yes,
And they didn't get it.
get anything. Yeah, like they didn't even want to counter that. They're like, we're not countering that. It's ridiculous. We're offended.
Oh, yeah.
Hey,
Give us your feedback. You're amazing.
yeah, okay, I think that's it. Oh, wait, recap and ahas.
I don't think we're gonna role play.
We don't, yeah, I mean, what is there like here really? Are you more confident in your ability to make and receive offers?
I got new tricks. I got some new tricks.
Do you know how to communicate with buyers, sellers, and other agents during the offer process? Do you understand the best practices for making and receiving offers in your market? Okay, so all you really need to know is, again, you are working with phenomenal people here. There's always someone to reach out to. I mean, I have no clue what I'm doing half the time, so it's just so great to be able to reach out to people always. To have somebody to have that connect that you can seriously be like, emergency, I need help right now. Someone will always reach out to you. There's been, and no question is stupid. No, but for real, you just never, I mean, it takes so long to know what you're doing because every situation is so uniquely different from the next. There are just constantly, you will hit many different days when you're like, oh my God, what am I supposed to do? And you know that your job is to do whatever it takes to just get it past this difficult part to make it to the finish line. One, so you can get paid, and two, so that they can get the house.
Yeah.
And that everybody can end up happy. And it's hard sometimes, like really hard.
Do you have a fee where if they want foreclosing, what's that one called?
Like a retainer fee, I only use a retainer fee when I'm listing. And it's usually to cover marketing and photos.
Oh, that's a great question because I was thinking about that. Like if the gods all align
Right,
and I get this listing, I'm like, okay, I know I'm gonna be paying for,
Yes.
expensive cards for this area because it's a pricey house. I know I'm gonna be spending more on photos and
Yes.
drone and all that
all the
stuff.
stuff,
And who knows what else?
yes.
And I was thinking, but if it doesn't sell or my sellers
But they
wanna
take it off the market.
they take it off the market and I'm out, I don't know, $1,500 or $2,000 or
Right.
whatever. I don't know how much you
Definitely write that into the offer.
into
I
the,
did.
yeah,
Yeah,
because
I
I
say
don't,
if for some reason this transaction should,
you change your mind, you don't
not
know what
work and then it comes off the market reaching, yeah, change your mind. I am owed to pay for photos, marketing. And then you just provide the receipts from the photos and the marketing and
do you give like a set, like not to exceed
no,
X amount? Because you don't know how much
you
you're gonna
don't know.
spend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd be shocked if you spent more than $1,500.
Okay, like, what is expected on, like, if you list a house, what kind of things to advertise is expected?
Well, I'm assuming that one has high square footage.
It's like 3,200.
Yeah, I mean, and I'd say a house like that, you're gonna wanna pay for a heavy photo package, like you're gonna want maximum photos.
Right,
If it's got like fancy, like specialty features, you want like there's a different video that comes with like fancy specialty like features than
Yeah.
just like your basic video.
right.
So you pay up for that.
Right.
Drone footage, that's more money.
Yeah, drone footage, I think, it's a fantastic tool.
Oh my God, yeah.
It'll sell the house.
Especially if
for-
you have acreage or property, you want the drone footage. You can pay with the next door photos. I like the option of like, well, again, it depends on where the house is, but if you want just like drone shots, you can add like 5 drone shots for like an extra like $75. So it's kind of like not really, there's ways to kind of get around spending that much money, you know what I mean? And again, I use next door photos. I probably should look into other photo people, but the quality of the work is so good. Like I've never been disappointed.
Mhm.
Ever been disappointed. But marketing, yeah, postcard can be expensive.
Yeah.
I mean, you'll probably spend at least $500 on postcards.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're already at like $1,000.
Mhm.
I mean, it's expensive, but you'll get a big paycheck off that house.
Yeah.
So you spend that money up
I
front,
mean, it's
but definitely write that into the contract.
And if you had a situation, oh, we're recording, I don't think I can ask that.
Are we recording?
Mhm.
I'll get in trouble. I cuss so much.
It's okay.
I do
I
cuss
love
a lot.
sign of intelligence.
Is it?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I think
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm like, I think I dropped it off on. That's why I'm in charge of your culture. Yeah,
Um,
otherwise like, sorry, that was not culture. That was not very culture-y, was it? Because
I'll have to ask you after.
I do have a question. But you had mentioned earlier that the house with the central, they didn't have the central heating.
Yeah.
Window.
AC units,
So take them out. Why do they take them out?
because there's extra air getting, they're not sealed like a proper window would be, like an AC unit, like a window AC unit, there's still a little bit of air coming in from the outskirts, so people always take them out in the winter.
Your Mississippi roots are showing.
Yeah, oh yeah, you don't know cold weather.
Yeah.
Yeah, so in Ohio, we
Yeah,
have
it's-
shitty humid summers, right?
It's not sealed. I mean,
No.
I've seen them when they have sealed and they use a piece of wood.
Well, I bet if you're from the south, yeah, they probably do that because they want no hot air getting in and they aren't taking them in and out for seasons. Whereas here, you don't want anything like sealed or permanent because we're taking them out seasonally.
So they're not attached to the wall.
No,
No, they get screwed into this, like you have a box
yeah,
and the accordion with plastic wings
yes.
to the spread of the window, the wood window, and then typically you screw in those in so that it semi doesn't fall out of the
Right.
window. But like most people use like a sheet of cardboard across over the, yeah,
Yeah.
over the
Yeah.
wings, the accordion wings to keep the hot air or the cold air that putting into the room in
From escaping, right?
from escaping. But then you take them out like in the end of September,
Because it's
store them in the
so
basement.
cold.
'cause
I
it's
mean,
so
you can
cold.
feel like air coming through this
Yeah.
in the winter.
Especially old houses.
Yeah.
A lot of old houses.
So that
don't
is
have central.
tricky. That's what I'm saying. I missed that. I was telling them early all of my nightmare stories about things that I missed when I was new, and I'm like, oh, yeah.
Well, because from
uh,
September to
there's no air.
April,
So
or
there's no
May,
central air
you
so
would
that's a
have
problem,
window units
because like I
in,
didn't
you
look
know,
for an outside unit,
May.
or they didn't have the
In the
window
south,
units
yes,
in.
you would die. You would literally
Yeah.
die.
In the March, when it turned 18.
Yeah, but not in Ohio. Like it's like we have window units. We have central air.
Have
but
you-
we have
you've
window
been here
units
for a
too.
winter, though,
Yeah.
haven't you? Okay, I guess it was pretty mild.
But
Was
if
it
you
pretty
live
mild?
in a house with central air,
Yeah.
the winter was pretty mild.
Yeah.
This
So
winter-
I'm originally from Akron, okay?
Yeah.
So like, that's like up towards Cleveland,
It's
like we
dead.
get like lake effect stuff, so
It's tundra.
it's awful. Like you
It's-
have
yeah.
snow on the ground from like October, literally until like March, and it's terrible there.
Yeah.
So when I moved here, I was like, this is like south.
Yeah.
Because I just feel like it doesn't snow.
It
It's
does.
not that cold. Like,
It's 1 or 2 weeks in February, it gets really cold. And
Yeah.
you question why you live here, but then after.
but I definitely prefer the heat. Like, I would rather be hot. Ugh, I would rather be hot. than
Not
cold.
Mississippi, but I lived in Louisiana, so I know what you're.
But
Yeah.
our first winter here, we were teenagers and it was like that. We were from like Arkansas, Virginia, and it was the year of a big snow.
Yeah, it's
That
like,
comes
whoa.
every 75 years or so.
Yeah.
We were and had, it was like, oh my God, because we only saw it on the movies. And it was like, this
And it's so
high.
pretty,
Yeah.
right, right.
So, yeah.
I do love the snow. I do love the snow. If it's gonna be cold, it might as well be snowing.
I remember wearing shorts on Christmas Day in Louisiana, and it was wild, because I'm from Toledo.
Right, oh
And I
yeah.
was like, what in the universe is happening? And everyone's like, this is amazing. And I was like, this is so wrong.
This is wrong, man. It
It's
just
wrong.
doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel right.
But yeah, that's why 'cause people take them out.
Right,
Yeah.
right, yeah, the window units,
They put them
yeah.
in the basement, you'll see them stacked in the basement on a pallet or something.
So definitely look for that outside AC unit. Don't miss that. Well, they have the HVAC system, yeah, so a lot of the time, it's baseboard heat. So that's why I said, when you see baseboard heat, really pay attention to the AC switch.
Well, a lot of old,
So baseboard heat, so a lot of, it's vent systems, most houses are vented. Like they have them piped for venting and they're a full HVAC system that sits in the basement, right? And they have the AC unit outside. But, even with baseboard heat, you'll still have that HVAC system. That sits either in the basement or, you know, off the laundry or whatever, but they're like they're up against the wall
They're like
this.
metal, like the old time school.
And they pop out like a little bit from the wall. Some of them don't even, I mean, if you are looking at old school houses, some of the heat is on the baseboards.
Yeah, it's electric.
Like electric, like you turn them on and that's how they heat up the room.
On the west side,
Yeah, and if it's real old, you've got you've got radiators, yes. Or you'll see like boilers with like oil heat. And then those are also like messed up, like, and you're like,
A lot of old houses in Cincinnati, like like our house has a furnace. So we have an air vent in each room to get heat, but it didn't have central air when we bought it. We put it in like 10 years ago. And we lived with window units forever.
right, but they were already piped, they had vents.
We have fun.
So that's a
It's terrible.
cheaper, yeah, so that's still a cheaper option than having to vent the whole house. Like, that house I was talking about, they didn't even have vents.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was like, oh, this is bad. How did I miss that?
And some houses they'll have vents on the first and second floor, but not the third floor that somebody finished sometime in the 90s. And they have the baseboard heat, but there's no central air that reaches up there and like folks.
Yeah. Right.
Sometimes if they put that money in.
Yeah,
sometimes
the
they don't.
heating and cooling stuff, it's important.
Yeah.
It just, especially if you do see stuff, that's you when you're the realtor and you need to walk in the bathroom and get on your chat GPT and be like, what is this? And how does this work? I need to know what I'm talking
And how
about right
much
now.
is it? Because
Yeah.
radiators are excruciatingly expensive.
Yeah, because I always forget that stuff, like especially when I see like oil, and I know this because I just dealt with like an oil, we were at the oil tanks. And I had to do tons of research on it. I was like, shit, I forget about the oil tanks. What's the deal with those? They're high maintenance and they're horrible. But they crank out heat, they crank it out.
Yep.
But it's all those little things, you just
And a lot of times out in the
take it till
country,
you make
you'll
it,
have,
people.
you'll have that.
Take
too.
it till you make it. And you just learn as you go.
Propane or propane heat out in the country or oil heat out in the country.
Yeah.
'Cause
And is the
that's-
oil heat in the house, in the basement, or
Well,
is the
that's-
oil tank out in the yard? Is the oil tank above or is the oil tank below? Like there's lots of,
It's just there because it's too expensive to remove it and they.
and it's empty and they drained it. They're using it for,
Or
yes,
it's half built.
yeah,
I mean, I went into a house that was coal heated. Like
like coal.
coal, and it still had barrels of coal in it. Now, it was like an older person who was like a little bit of a hoarder, and it was like like shit house. But they hadn't switched it over
Oh my God, the dirt.
to modern. Oh my God, everything
soot.
was
Ugh.
I mean, he probably died of like black lung because everything was covered with coal dust.
Yeah,
And there was huge chunks of coal. We'd never seen it, and now we refer to the coal house
right.
in our neighborhood, and we're like, look at the coal house.
It
And
just
they-
reminds me of the Christmas story
Yeah,
because he's dealing with the coal, the thing down the basement. He gets pissed off.
yeah, the big,
Yeah,
and a lot of houses, old houses that are 100 years old, they'll have a coal chute in them. Like our house had a coal chute, we glass blocked the opening, but it has a big metal door. Like, it looks like it would be a window, but it's a big, like, heavy
yeah, that's
steel door, and they would deliver the coal through that. That's the coal chute. It's kind of crazy.
That's what I love about Cincinnati houses, because they have character, like each area has their own.
Yep.
Like things going, and like I love when you walk into a house and you see the random, like one of the things we see on our side is the telephone, spot for the telephone.
Oh, yeah.
set and the-
Oh, I love those.
But that's what I love, yeah, you never know what you're gonna see in the house.
No, they're all different. Yeah, that's the beauty of selling all over too.
That's why you want a sewer inspection.
Yeah. Yeah, honey, if you're looking at a house with a telephone seat, you're gonna need a sewer inspection, okay? I'm just saying.
Yeah, don't let your kids chew on the woodwork.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, well, this is fun.
Thank
Maybe you
you.
can always call or text anybody here. Honestly, everyone is so helpful. Like, I wouldn't have been able to do it. without the help of people at my disposal, you know, or just find several people that you really think you can know and trust and just reach out to them anytime.
I know, I have Jennifer's number.
You guys are pretending.
Celeste told me.
Jennifer.
But Kate is, 2 o'clock later today, she's teaching, how she gets leads on Facebook. I was in one of her classes. So you guys want to come eat, come hang out, they already know about it, but, I'm letting you guys know.
Yeah.
about it At 2 o'clock.
Here?
Yes, and then also.
Facebook campaigns.
Oh, I love those.
Yeah,
I
campaigns.
can't wait to hear what you get. Like,
So it's kind of like a workshop. So if you want to come, just bring your computer and we're just gonna do one.
oh, do it.
We're just gonna do it. That's the easiest way to just walk through it, just do it.
Oh, that's excellent. Are you on Facebook? Counselor?
But now
Yeah, are you on Instagram though?
I don't have a business page.
Okay, so we gotta get you on your socials. So that's one of your big things. Yeah,
Like,
dude,
we
I
got
hate it.
Chase on.
Self-promotion, it's a real hard thing to adjust to in this industry. I hate self-promoting.
You Snap, you TikTok?
I use Snapchat, it's like texting.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because Chase didn't have anything. And we, in the social media class, I was like, get on right now. He was like Benjamin Button of social media. And he's like Benjamin Button. And I was like, oh my God. But,
but I think that's common for you guys' age. You're that age, right there, right?
They
it's
left.
Snap.
Because Instagram was like not really there yet. You guys were like, right, like my kids are considerably younger than you. How old are you?
22.
22. Okay, yeah. I mean, I've got like a 15 and a 18-year-old. So Instagram like hit big for them when they were in like 7th grade, and it was cool to like be on it. Whereas I feel like that much further generation, like Instagram wasn't really a big deal for a minute.
My son brought up the fact, because I don't know if you remember when Facebook hit, that the kids were on it.
Yes.
And then the parents started getting on it and snooping and finding out what they were saying. to
Right
each
now, like
other.
this thing sucks.
And so the kids all left.
It was Snapchat, because they
So
could hide
they're-
everything.
Yeah, so that generation's not really on it. Now adults are taking over Facebook and
Right.
they're like, doing Instagram and.
Right.
Snapchat. Yeah, places where it can disappear after they post it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, because now our age, particularly women, are on Instagram. Like we've gone from Facebook
Yeah. Oh, I love all of it.
to Instagram, but we don't typically go like Snapchat.
Yeah.
We'll go TikTok.
Yeah. I love TikTok. God, I love TikTok.
I don't know. I can't do it all. And they say, don't do it all. Pick your one, be an expert in that. And then when you master that one, go to the next one.
Right.
And Pinterest is overlooked by our age,
Yeah.
which is what we should be doing.
I use Pinterest, I guess, for personal use,
But
like
Pinterest
recipes,
is like,
decor stuff.
yeah, Pinterest is one of the top
Yeah.
social medias for our age.
Okay. Yeah, and all my Facebook and Instagram stuff, it crosses.
Yeah, you cross post.
Yeah, I just all cross posts. So I don't even think about it.
And you don't have to, I don't know if you've heard the, Rachel Adams, that social media.
Yes.
You don't need to
You don't need to
promote
do
your business.
Yeah. Yeah. Just be you.
Yeah.
So just
That's
take it
what I-
out with your family wherever. just take
Yes.
something you need. You do that too.
I do
Your
mostly personal stuff, but I put some, I mean, I use some of it. Well, I made a huge mistake of making a Facebook business page that's different from my personal page. And if I were to start over again, I probably wouldn't do that, even though they say to do that still.
This, she says not to because it ruins the algorithm.
Yeah, see, I think it ruins, yeah, I wish I would have just kept it all on one,
But
No, I
then
mean,
personal
she says
page.
keep- Oh, okay, not have.
like not have opened a business page. Because now I post everything on the business page, but then I personal and go back to my business page and then I just share it to it's so dumb.
But
I just
that
wish I never would.
But that was because, can you run ads off your personal Facebook wall now? Because now it's like.
You can, but mine's under my business page because yeah,
Because like my personal, I can go to professional dashboard and that's new within this last year. And I think you can run ads from your personal wall. But it used to be you could only
Business
run
only,
ads
yeah.
on business pages. and your Instagram would connect to the business, your Facebook business page.
Right.
So that you could run ads from your Facebook business page to back to your Instagram.
Right.
But now it's
Because my
changed.
Instagram is not a business page. My Instagram is my personal page,
Right.
but it gets all my business campaigns and
Yeah.
it gets all my business, I post business stuff on there, like I post both. Yeah, I just wish I didn't have to, but again, 5 years ago, there was like not an option. You had to have a business page.
But so what you're saying is now you can use your professional dashboard on your personal Facebook wall. That's what they call it, wall,
I don't know.
to run ads. So
I run ads through Command.
You don't.
But
you
it's
don't-
cheaper.
It's cheaper through Command.
cheaper through Command, I've heard.
It's cheaper through Command, but the Command connects to Facebook and Instagram. So it
Right.
connects so it takes my Command campaign that I've created in Command and it pushes it out to those socials. I don't know how it works.
Did you used to do that? Or did you use-
Always, because it's always been the cheapest.
Mhm.
So when I first started running campaigns on Command, I used to just pay $25 a month.
Yep.
And I just paid $25 a month. And it ran for like 20 to 30 days for $25. Well, now that's not how it is. So now it's like you pay 25, $30 and I can get it to run for maybe 14 days. But you gotta like play around
Yeah.
with like the things, try to get, 14 days is still pretty long.
I booked, I'm gonna print off a page to social, to share to, out of Facebook, how to gain a million followers and.
Oh, okay,
So I'll have that too, like to give everybody.
okay. Yeah, we all need more followers. Yeah, we all need more followers. Because that's even something I forget because it's a business page. Like I always forget that I gain all these new friends, but I have to go and invite them to like my page. So, or they're not gonna see anything that I post on the page. Yeah, it's tricky.
Yeah, because it's a weird, thing, because like I post a lot of personal stuff, kids stuff, whatever, on my Facebook wall,
Right,
which is not public.
right.
And I prefer that, like I just had to disconnect my Facebook wall from Threads because unbeknownst to me, it was
Okay.
connected and posting the Threads, which is super public. And I was like, oh shit. And I had to go through and like
Right,
delete like my kids' photos and stuff. And then, but Instagram for me, I post personal, but I don't post my kids there. I only post like personal stuff, but then it's all business.
Yeah, right.
Because that's what like my link tree is and all that stuff, but how do you keep your Facebook wall, personal, but yet gain followers? And
Right.
Is it you that gets paid on posting on Facebook?
No.
No, so it was somebody else that was a trainer here.
Oh, I'd love it if we was getting paid for Facebook posts.
She was an
Yeah, who's that?
Ignite trainer. Maybe it was Serena. She's like, well, I do this, but I get paid on my Facebook posts. And I was like, how you do that?
Oh, with the stars? I never even used that.
I think she has 5,000 followers.
Okay, that's a lot.
So you can.
But it's on her
request
personal
the-
wall.
request that. I was just saying you can request it too, but if they're not your friends and you post it private, you don't make it a public post, and they won't see it. Post about your kids and things, but, right? Like if they're not your friends, right? Like, whether it's public.
Oh, you can make it public or private. Yes, yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
But
Because some stuff I post on my personal Facebook page that's, most of it is private, but some stuff I make public.
so like on my.
So that other people can share it.
Right.
So
Yeah.
Can what's the question? Can everybody see if they're your followers, can they see your private?
Well, that's what I wonder. That's a chat.
Followers of my business page?
No, of your Facebook wall.
Do you have you might not have, do you have your personal page a way for people to click and make you followers? Click you and be a follower?
How do you do that?
Well, I think in order to have followers on Facebook.
I have followers.
your-
Yes.
your page-
My they're called followers,
you
but
have-
they're
you have
friends.
your page,
right?
professional, or it's just follow.
Yeah, do you have yours professional?
I guess I haven't really looked at that. I mean, it says professional dashboard
Yeah.
and it says followers.
Yeah,
But that's-
But you'll have followers and you'll have friends.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I have 1,800 followers. How do I find out how many friends I have? But I thought they were my friends.
I thought those were people that I had friended, yeah.
Well, if you had your personal page before you made it professional, those friends you had become
And
followers.
followers.
They
Yes,
just call
okay.
it names different.
That's
Now-
what mine are
now,
named different.
People that don't know you can come to your page and they can send you a friend request, or they can just follow. you. And I
Ah,
think in order to monetize your page, you have so many followers that are not also friends in order to monetize your page.
got it. So
Fascinating.
I
that's,
think it's 1,000.
I mean,
The people that have to follow you that are not friends.
okay. Because that was the class Dorina, taught, and like I pulled open my professional dashboard, which I'd never touched, because I was like, I don't even know what that button is.
Right, right.
And I was like, she's like, well, how many views do you have? And I was like, 34,000. She's like, holy shit. And I was like, holy shit, how do people have 34? How do I?
How do I, yeah, how did
How do I
that
have
happen?
34,000 views with 1,800 friends?
Right,
Like, I'm like, how is that possible when I almost put nothing public?
And you
yeah.
can see it, oh, you don't put anything public?
Almost nothing. Very, very little public.
Does that count like comments? You comment posts and you can see?
I have no, it says, great job. Like this week I have, great job. You have 26,000 views. I have no freaking clue how I have 20.
26,000, that's huge.
I know, but I don't know what I'm doing or how it's getting.
That's what I'm saying. I have no idea how it works.
How many views do you have?
I don't know how to find that out.
Click your professional dashboard button, the blue button.
Okay,
This was me like 2 weeks ago in class.
okay,
Okay. Just roll over here. And right there. it
Okay.
says-
yeah, August 14th.
It's like
Okay.
30,000, 30,000 views.
From the past 28 days.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, I don't believe that.
but that's the, I mean,
Okay,
even-
okay, oh, insights, it's under insights. Okay, 30,000 views, see all. Let's see all. But but that's what doesn't make sense. What was that sudden spike?
right. Mine was on August 10th.
It tells you the spot where you can see that too, where I'll tell you what the most popular post.
Okay,
But mine,
So,
okay, so mine was August 10th. Oh, what did I do? I did an open house and I created a reel. So 33% of my followers
So-
saw it.
so if you go to content, at the
Content.
top,
Uh-huh,
content, and just hit see all,
uh-huh.
it'll tell you over the
oh my
past,
God, yes, oh my God, I did that video, had 1,000 views.
and it'll tell you what was popular. So in this social media group that follows 30 or million followers in 30 days, it tells you to pay attention to that. And then because that's what your viewers and followers love about you, and if you could just tune into that. And get
Bro, I
creative.
can't, I hate it.
Whether it's something
It's
funny,
from March 27th.
Is it a funny video or something you weren't expecting to do a lot?
Hold on.
What's-
So mine,
Oh, I can't even listen to it.
Is
never
you
watch
talking?
yourself.
It's just me literally looking like shit in a house.
Yeah.
like, that I just,
And that's what I noticed too, so for me, if I post a house without me in it, I don't get as many views as I do with me in it. So when you pay attention.
God, I gotta do a
Okay,
video. I
But-
hate it.
but my video from August 10th was from the open house. No one showed up at. So I just took pictures of the cool features of the house and I made a reel
Oh, yeah,
and I put some music
Music.
to it. And it got 10,000 views inside of inside of a neighborhood group. 'Cause I
that's,
posted it in
okay,
my
so that's
neighborhood group.
big, yeah.
But the video that I posted on my wall got 322 views.
I don't pay attention to any
So
of that.
weird.
So that's great. So what you would do, look, or Rachel would say, have a call of action connected to your videos or something, to draw them to you, and then so that you can get.
I did do
follow-
that. I mean, I did. I was like, what is your favorite part of an old house? living in an old house.
Yeah, that's cool there.
And then people come
Or to follow, like tell, like literally ask for them to
in, hey, come follow me.
Yep. From work,
Oh my God, it does so much and I just don't pay attention to any of
tell them
this.
to come follow.
I'm gonna go back on that post in that group and I'm gonna say, hey,
Like, here,
everybody,
follow.
come follow me.
Well, and I'm ready to set up stars and earn money with stars,
What's, I don't know.
whatever that is.
I got we got teenagers to afford.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So to
she
start
could.
earning.
I mean,
That's what Emily started to do, have her son. What is that about?
Who does that? So weird,
Streaming
dude.
Stuff, like said people live streams.
Right, oh, well, like they got on TikTok?
OnlyFans. You want me to talk to you? Send me $10.
Right?
As long as your kids school doesn't find it.
Consultation.
Okay, well, I don't know, but I just set up my stars.
Oh my God, that would be a good OnlyFans.
It
It is, and it's not just, because my husband listens to a lot of podcasts. OnlyFans is getting more popular for like not sexual stuff.
Is
So
it
like
really?
personal trainers, cooks, like people that make recipes, like all sorts of stuff, or even just like, there are not only people out there, people that just like talk to the screen, talk live, but nothing. They can monetize that, which, like Steve's like, "Hey, Kendall, get on there, and I'm like,
This is so funny. I don't ever look at any of this stuff.
I'm telling you, I got some crusty, nasty feet.
Or
Somebody
you
did-
can do crusty house pictures, or
Crusty,
crusty walkthrough house.
in my bare feet.
Start with the feet. and then
Oh,
go
yeah,
in.
and boom, 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 let's walk through this house, I will pay for that. Oh my God, we are gonna do it,
That would be funny.
that would be awesome. There's a freak show for everybody. Yeah,
Yeah.
everybody's got a
But
freak in
I
them.
think it's, a lot safer than what it could be, you know what I mean? If you like to look at feet, or
Knock yourself
I'm
out.
okay with that. You know?
This is so
Yeah.
interesting.
You're safe for my community.
Yeah. Yeah, that's all right. Fly your free flag at home in private, that's fine. As long as I can monetize it. Exactly. This is the way grown women talk.
Oh, I'm sure young men talk just as
It's a
fun.
different
They have
topic.
a good fun.
Yeah.
For their age.
I'm gonna have to figure that out. So that's 2:00 today. You're talking Kate here.
I'm just talking about band campaigns,
Yeah, but that's,
Yeah.
but I get a lot of leads off this.
yeah.
Yeah. And it's definitely the cheapest way to apply leads.
And what I'm wanting to try to take, so Rachel Adams talks about, how you can take pieces of value, like how you want to bring those people over, the buyer's consultation. You just take a couple pages from it. Hey, you want to go to the buyer's consultation? Information here,
Yep.
Your lead mag, it's called.
so your video that got all that, those leads could have had something like that, and Facebook ad, put that value in the Facebook ad, send it out to a community.
Yeah,
and
that could be an ad.
Yep.
I mean, that could be the campaign.
that's what
So
I'm
like
thinking.
even the video that I did, that got 10,000 views, obviously it's popular with somebody. I can take that video and put it into a ad campaign.
Oh, yeah.
And do like, click here to get my VIP buyer's guide.
Oh,
So I already
yes.
have that.
Yes.
Don't give it all. Yeah, you have to
I have
give the information first.
It's a,
Yeah, so here, because that's the beauty of running the campaigns through command. Anybody that replies or clicks on your thing, all their info goes immediately into your command contacts.
because it grabs it.
Yeah,
from
it grabs
your
all. So
computer.
when I go out to then send my newsletters every week, I hit all contacts and it adds in all the people that are new
Clicked.
leads from the week. And now they're into my weekly management because they're already in command. It's not like I had to get their information and then put them in as a contact.
Right,
Like that's the beauty of using command too. And it's definitely the cheapest,
yeah,
for sure.
because I use.
Yeah, for
Canvas
sure.
to do that.
Yeah, and then you can attach really, I mean, it's like a domino effect of like,
So that's
the
what
way
you're
to make
gonna
it
be
work.
talking through today.
Mhm.
Oh, I'm so gonna go through that.
yeah,
'cause
I
that's
mean,
what
it's
wanna do.
fascinating. I told Jen, like, when like 3 years ago, I got like real serious about trying to find like the cheapest way to buy leads, because I was like, this,
You can spend a lot of money.
yeah, we need to figure this out. Well, and I felt like I didn't have, you only have so many times you can call your friends. It's like, I need other people I can call, and I haven't been in the business long enough to like have this huge sphere of people to call. So I was like, I gotta find a way to like get numbers, to call people.
Yeah.
So I did like a crazy deep dive, literally for like 2 weeks straight of my life. All I did from 9 to 5 was watch campaign videos. And I researched like all the top like KW command campaign people on
Right.
YouTube, and I just watched them. And then I literally walk through and just do everything. But now it's not the same as it was obviously
Yeah,
3 years
everything.
ago.
Yep.
So I retained a moderate amount of information. So
Well, that.
hopefully I can share something.
It is,
But you can go crazy because there is so much information out there on YouTube that you can teach yourself anything.
yeah. Because in my beauty business, I would, like, I directed everyone to my website to sign up for my lead magnet to get my, top 5 makeup tips.
And then you
for
had all
women
their
for
info.
45. And I got all their info.
Yeah.
And
So
then,
it's the same
and then it
thing.
was the marketing campaign to sell them whatever product I was.
Yep,
affiliated
this is the
with.
exact same thing.
Yeah, or my course or
It's
whatever.
just real estate form.
Yeah. So it does work. I just still do it through Flowdesk.
Okay.
And I want to learn how to do. Flowdesk is so pretty. I like it
Yeah.
and I know it, but I want to learn how to get random strangers through
Yes.
Command, because Command, if they click the ad,
It goes directly into your
computer-
contacts. Yeah.
like talks to their computer and gets their email bare minimum, their name and email.
Well, and they can't get so far without plugging in their information.
Right.
Like they have to plug in their number and their email in order to get.
To get the
And
thing,
again,
but if they
You
decide
get all
not
the
to get the
leads,
thing.
but then you get some people that give you bunk emails or bunk
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah. But you usually have one or the other.
Right.
Working.
What do you guys like to eat for later?
I don't. Yeah, I eat it.
Yeah.
Girl, you know I'm a foodie. I like all foods.
Favorite, veggie place, favorite.
Are you buying lunch for this? Oh, wow.
Hey, taxes.
I know that game too.
Yes.
I will eat just about anything besides sushi, but I know you're not buying the office sushi. I will eat anything besides sushi, but I know you're not buying sushi. I cannot eat, I do not do sushi.
Cheese crackers.
Just do Dewey's with a salad.
Okay, I'll see you guys later.
Bye, thanks, Kate.
What do we, what kind
I like anything that Dewey's makes. Dewey's pizza. What do you like on your pizza?
I like
I just like cheese pizza.
Like a cheese pizza? Do you do a salad? Do you do pepperoni?
So,
No, you're a cheese guy. Will, what are you? So you'll eat meat, you'll eat pepperoni, you'll eat chicken, veggies. I'm kind of an adult, so whatever you get, I'll just pick it off. I don't like it. Black olives, ding.
what kind of crust?
Bread.
I've never ordered.
I mean, you can get Domino's. Oh, the rest is always good too. Were you at the club last night?
And what I had left.
I love you. I love our humor.
Yes.
Brandon, I'm so glad you came into the office today.
yeah,
Are you gonna stay for till 2
I'm trying to go home.
and come back? Or are you gonna go back to the class? I missed you. I know you're working at home. but-
Yeah.
Give it back.
Yeah.
Give. When it comes back. So you want to give, you give.
Are you gonna do the trick that Susan says, where you call and then you call right back? Oh, wait.
I feel like it comes back.
And then-
I've seen donated before and.
Okay, good. Well, we'll see ya.
I have to work. And I
Oh,
don't
yeah.
know when I'll be back.
Especially.
I don't know if this is gonna be a quick thing or.
No, it's an hour. At least an hour.
What's that?
It's gonna be an hour.
Oh, you're, no, I'm saying I don't know how long I'm gonna.
Oh, you're gonna be,
Yeah.
okay. Oh, okay, well,
So hopefully, but not sure.
okay. But it sounds like you kind of already talked to her about her, didn't you try to talk to her about her system?
Yeah, but a refresh would be.
Yeah. She said she's gonna walk us through it and we'll have to do it. I'm excited. I didn't know she-
Okay.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna, just get, so everybody. I know you get, no, show, everybody. Whatever you want to. You know, so, I just, yeah, on Facebook. And just, well, this. You know, so. That's all I'm not looking at, you know, because my house is.
Yep, 2 o'clock.